Good morning. Donald Trump doubles down on US control of Venezuela.
The US president says Delcy Rodriguez, Venezuela's interim leader, must now comply with his wishes.
Don't ask me who's in charge because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
Yes, we're in charge.
Well, it comes as Nicolas Maduro is expected to appear in a Manhattan court later today.
Maduro and his wife are currently in a New York detention center on drugs and weapons charges.
He's very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
Well, President Trump hints that other countries might meet the same fate as he hits out at drug trafficking from Colombia.
We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
President Trump also sets his sights on Greenland, claiming it's needed for defense from China and Russia.
Elsewhere, beginning today, mobile phones and SIM cards will be seized from migrants who cross the channel without needing to arrest them. It's part of efforts to tackle the ongoing crisis.
And new year, new Keir. The Prime Minister sets out his strategy for 2026, but is it enough to keep him in the top job?
An amber weather warning is in place across parts of the UK as blizzard conditions are forecast. Flights are cancelled and travel disruption is expected.
And as a ban on the advertisements on junk food comes in today, we're asking, do you support the move?
And in sport this morning, Joe Root scores a brilliant 160 as England score a very respectable 384. On the second day of the final Ashes test in Sydney, Australia currently 112 for 1. After a last-minute equaliser against Manchester City yesterday, Chelsea likely to have a new manager today. And how much longer will Ruben Amorim last as Manchester United manager, as it seems there's a power struggle at Old Trafford?
Hello there. Scenes like this for many of us this morning. Widespread hard frost, some snow and ice in places too. Find out all the weather details coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 6 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
Good morning, I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Breakfast.
Well, happy 2026.
Happy 2026 to you.
Nice to see you.
It's nice to be
It's
back.
your first show back, isn't it?
It is my first show back.
You lazy so-and-so.
I've been in Tenerife.
And it's my first show back as well, by
Oh,
the
is
way.
it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
just thought I'd throw that in. Yeah, I've been off as well.
Sorry, Paul, I'm not normally here,
That's
so-
okay. That's
And
okay.
you've been in Prague.
Anyway, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm going...
Aren't you supposed to be in America?
Oh, my goodness. I was about to say I'm going home on Thursday.
Oh, my goodness, no.
you're
That's the
not a
big
patriot.
sign.
No, sorry, I didn't mean that.
Oh, that's a
I'm
bad
No, you're going home.
I'm going back to America on Thursday.
I thought you loved your country.
I do. I was telling you...
You were telling me that
to
just-
tell the viewers and
just-
listeners what I was just saying.
You just said it made me realise how much I love this country, but then you did just try and refer to the US as home.
That's
So,
home.
it's 6 o'clock.
And you know what?
I need a coffee.
Ben, is there a slight American twinge to your accent there? I guess kind of like that Mid-Atlantic thing going on there.
No,
you
but,
sure?
but one thing you do have to do, because they don't understand, you go into a coffee shop and say water or can I have a latte, please? Like latte, water.
Latte.
They say what?
Yeah.
So you have to say, oh, can I have a water, please?
And what,
Yeah,
what's,
water.
what's a latte?
You can't hate that water.
Just a latte, just a soft,
Latte, so I
soft
can't
tea.
even say that.
Are you going to a
Latte.
party and having some water at the party?
Yeah. Oh, you have to
Everything's
do it.
got a letter D.
Can you hear your accent changing at all?
No, not my accent, but some words you have to say, because if you say, where's the bin, please?
Yeah.
They don't know what you're talking about, so you have to say, where's the trash?
Yeah.
Trash.
Where's the toilet? They see the toilet as being... What do you mean the toilet is actually being the receptacle instead of... So you go to the washroom. I don't want to go to the washroom. What do you want to have a wash for?
Yeah.
You don't need a washroom.
Elevator, lift, sidewalk,
Restroom. I don't want to rest.
No.
I just want the toilet.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, we're very happy to have you here with us.
Yeah,
today.
nice.
Nice to see you.
And you've had a good New Year so far. You've been working, haven't you?
I've been lots of shows, yeah, as opposed to you've been enjoying a nice break.
Well-deserved break, I would say.
No, I think
Ben.
so, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Actually, the great thing about being in America is I, many times, would be tuning into breakfast.
You do
in the
watch
morning.
breakfast, to be fair, don't you?
When I'm ironing my clothes for the next day at night, getting ready for bed, Ellie and Stephen are up, or Ellie and Eamonn. And Paul as well, Paul.
And Coity, of course. Are all your Christmas decorations down?
Yeah. It's got to be down by 12th night.
12th night, which
Or
of course
this bad
is
luck, on your
tomorrow.
home for a year.
Is it the 12th night today?
The 5th. So that's tonight,
Today,
right?
yeah.
No, it's the 6th, Epiphany.
Well,
the
6th is
three
going to be
wise men
down
appear.
by the 6th, though. Is it?
Yeah, so they've
this
got
is
to be
what
down
we
by
need a
the
ruling on.
Today's your last day, basically, to get
Right,
them down.
OK, fine.
Mine came down on the 2nd, first thing I did. when I got home.
Sacrilege.
Pulled them down.
Sad day.
I think mine are down already.
Yeah, I think that's very wise. Well, let us know. Have you bought your...
Take care of it.
Yeah, have you
Although it's
taken
not
down-
Happy New Year, it's Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ben.
Oh, it's World Cup year as well.
It is. So that's what I was
June.
going to say. Are we okay if I come over and stay at yours during through the summer? Is that all
Got a
right?
spare bed?
Thank you very much.
He's happy to have you.
Sofa bed. Right. Let's
Let us
move on
know
to
if
something else in.
your
We'll
Christmas
see where we go.
decorations are down. And Happy New Year to you all. gbnews.com/you'll say.
Yes, Happy New Year. Let's move on to more serious matters because President Trump says Venezuela's interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, could face a fate worse than that of deposed President Nicolas Maduro unless she complies with his wishes.
Well, this comes after Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured and detained on drugs and weapons charges after a military operation on Saturday morning. They're due in court in New York today.
Venezuela's denounced the military aggression and the army says it backs Delcy Rodriguez, and it contradicts President Trump's claim that the US would now run the country until a proper transition takes place.
Well, this all comes as President Trump has also said that the United States needs Greenland for defence.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it.
And he wasn't done there because on Air Force One, President Trump hit out at drug trafficking in Colombia, hinting that they could also see a similar fate.
Sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and
It sounds good to me.
Well, let's speak now to Defence and Security Specialist Philip Ingram, who joins us now. Very good morning to you, Philip.
Good morning
And what did you
and a happy
make
New Year
of
to
what
you.
we saw happen at the weekend in Venezuela?
Well, from a purely military perspective, it was a very audacious and very and extremely well executed operation. Months in the planning and very professionally put together. However, it is, as always, going to open a political can of worms, and we're already starting to see that with Donald Trump having said that the US is now running Venezuela, but then Secretary of State Marco Rubio coming out yesterday and saying the US is running the direction, and we're getting a change in language, and there are no US officials actually in the Venezuelan government. And now we're hearing the rhetoric about other places like, as mentioned, Greenland and Colombia.
Yeah, we're, as you said, hearing about Colombia and Greenland as well. What kind of message do you think, Philip, this sends to the likes of Iran, China, who are watching on intently?
Well, Iran's got its own problems at the moment, and I think we're just on the cusp of the Iranian regime being overthrown by the Iranian public. China, Xi Jinping will be watching this very closely indeed, and will be deciding whether he is going to try and take Taiwan militarily or not. And if the United States gets fixed in its own backyard with issues in Venezuela, Colombia, and looking at Greenland. And Greenland, it's interesting what Donald Trump's saying about Greenland, because the 1951 Greenland Treaty between Denmark, Greenland, the United States allows the United States to put any military bases that they want in Greenland at any time without even consulting the Danish government. So, there's a lot of rhetoric being put out there, and that rhetoric, as Donald Trump said when he was talking about Russian and Chinese ships, is all about the growth of Russian and in particular Chinese influence throughout the regions. So it's that US-China relationship that is the interesting one.
And with all of that in mind, what do you think this means for Greenland and Colombia? I mean, Donald Trump has set his sights on both of them in his comments in recent days.
He has. He's threatening them. There's no military build-up around Colombia. The Americans could put it together fairly quickly. There's no military build-up around Greenland. The Americans have currently got legal authority under international treaty and bilateral treaty to put any military bases and carry out any military activities that they want around Greenland or using Greenland's land or airspace. So we may see the Americans moving more capability in there. If it stirs controversy controversy. It shouldn't really do, but Donald Trump and his language is stirring that controversy. I think he's acting as the bully boy in the playground at the moment. A lot of that is in the information domain. We need to watch what he's doing with his military capability. We saw the build-up around Venezuela for months and months and months, and then that was combined with his rhetoric in the statements that he was making. Venezuela hasn't stabilized and has not finished yet from an American perspective, so there's a lot more to happen there. And of course, sitting in the background, smiling away, is Vladimir Putin going, the headlines are not on me at the moment.
Philip, I guess the argument is from some of President Trump's supporters is that America's back, baby. This is a superpower in action, and yes, he may be behaving like a quote-unquote bully boy, but they can, and what are you going to do about it?
It is, and this is where the legal status and the legal reasoning behind America's intervention in Venezuela is going to be very interesting. Of course, the Maduro government was not a legitimate government, and has been recognized not just by the United States but by the EU and many other countries around the world. He stole the last election, and therefore he's in a different position to other governments around the world, like Zelensky in Ukraine. So Russia can't use that as an excuse. And America can only go into another country if it can explain an existential threat under international law to the United States itself. And the debate on that will come out later this afternoon whenever there's a debate in the United Nations. I think the Americans are going to quote that Venezuela was attacking America through this narco-terrorism phrase that Donald Trump seems to have come up with, and that allows him to invoke Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, and therefore to go in and attack the country and deal with the particular threat. It was a very surgical operation, but international law is not an exact law. It's something that is open to interpretation, and he who is strongest can interpret it most.
And Philip, as you say, the situation is far from over in Venezuela in terms of a US perspective. I mean, it's far from stable, isn't it? We've got the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, in place, but she is an ally, or was an ally, of Maduro. So this is far from stable, and this is going to take a long time to become that way. Do you think we could see US boots on the ground in Venezuela, potentially?
Oh, we could do. And Donald Trump said that he had prepared a second wave and hadn't used it yet. And Rodriguez was Maduro's vice president, has been sworn in. And one of the first things she did was, after getting the backing of the military, was to condemn Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was asked whether the opposition leader who won the Nobel Peace Prize was going to be the next president, and he said she didn't have the votes of the majority of and the support of the majority of the people in Venezuela. So it's a very messy situation at the moment, and therefore what Donald Trump's going to do over the next week or so will be fascinating.
Yeah, great stuff, Philip. Thank you. And I guess the difference between Venezuela and the likes of Greenland is owned by Denmark, a NATO ally. Completely different prospects of trying to seize Greenland than some sort of despot dictator in Venezuela, But we'll see what happens with that.
It is, but thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Philip. Right, let's move on. New measures granting immigration officers expanded powers to combat organised immigration crime. Well, it comes into force today. Well, these powers include searching and seizing electronic devices to gather data on smuggling networks and conducting invasive searches, even on children, for hidden SIM cards or devices. OK, so the big question is, will this once and for all stop the small boats crisis? Let's hear what Henry Bolton has to say, international security and border control expert. Henry, is this the... what's the word? Is this the smoking gun we need, the one policy after many that will finally stop the small boats?
You always put me in a very difficult situation in the morning when you ask me a question like that, because the answer is always no. I like to be positive.
Where's your New Year positivity, Henry?
No, it won't. No, I'm sorry, but it's not going to. Look, any law enforcement or intelligence officer is going to want to have access to the mobile communications of these people. So in that sense, great. You know, it's another small piece of the puzzle that needs to be put in place and is being put in place. However, what concerns me about this, so sort of, you know, that's the positive. The problem is that the government, and not just this government, the previous government as well, had this incredibly bad habit of doing these little sort of penny packet type of responses, one at a time, not in a coherent, cohesive manner, not as part of an overall strategy or plan. I mean, I dread to think, for example, you were just talking about Venezuela and so on. I dread to think what would happen if these people were in charge of trying to put together that operation, because they would fail abysmally. There is no overall plan. There is no overall strategy. There is no sort of frame to bring all of the legislative, operational, intelligence, and so on pieces together. And so until that happens, we're not going to stop this. And in fact, the government has said that this is part of a measure to reduce the attractiveness of the United Kingdom. It does not do that, not at all. What it does is make it slightly more risky for organised criminals to move people to the United Kingdom. And I've always said this problem will not stop until such time as these economic migrants, for that's what 99.9% of them are no longer attracted to the United Kingdom as a destination. As long as that attraction exists, that pull factor exists, then organised criminals will attempt to try and find a way to facilitate that demand and make money out of it. So you want to just smash the gangs, then stop making the United Kingdom an attractive destination for these people. And that means detaining them and removing them immediately. And if you can't remove them immediately, detain them until such time as you can, or they ask to go back. That's really the only solution to this.
And Henry, I mean, this is all about intelligence gathering, isn't it? And trying to smash the gangs, trying to find out where these human trafficking networks are. I mean, Patrick Christie's and GB News, they found 2 human trafficking gangs in one afternoon. It didn't take him very long. He just infiltrated a few WhatsApp groups and a few WhatsApp chats. So it's just like whack-a-mole, isn't it? If you find one set of gangs, another one will crop up because of the demand that is so clearly there.
That's right. You raised two. There are two things there. One is that it's actually reasonably easy to detect these criminals, as Patrick has done, if you've got the resources to do that. I'll come back to that in a moment. And the second thing is that you've sort of rather reinforced what I just said, that as long as there is a demand for the criminals to facilitate this movement, they will continue to do so. So they will keep popping their heads up. They will come up left, right, and centre along the whole routes to facilitate that movement because there's money in it. But the resource thing is interesting because going back really to when the early 2000s, there was a process of, you might recall, people wanted to see more and more uniformed officers on the streets. Well, we didn't really see that, but what we did see is the cost cutting not feeding so much into that. What happened was backroom jobs went, and much as the Home Office and the police will tell you that everything they do is intelligence-led, there was a complete decimation of the intelligence capability of the police and what was then the National Criminal Intelligence Service as it moved into the Serious Organised Crime Squad and so on. At every iteration of this, we have lost intelligence analysis. So although you gather intelligence, there is nowhere necessarily to feed it, to collate it, to process it, to fuse it together and come up with a sort of package that is more valuable than the individual piece of information, if that makes sense. So that's rather how intelligence works. And to assess that the quality of that intelligence, that capability is, I'm guessing now, I can't give you a statistical figure, but just based on my observations and experience of it, and I used to work in that arena, is that probably we are now at about 25 or 30% of the capability in that sense that we had back in 20 years ago. So we don't, it's not intelligence-led, even if we gather the intelligence.
OK, yeah, thanks, Henry. And this new release today, it just says, I mean, this whole thing is a complete joke, actually. It says things like, officers can require illegal migrants to remove an outer coat, jacket or gloves and conduct searches inside somebody's mouth for a hidden SIM card. I mean, why aren't we doing that already? Can you imagine? Could you imagine the Trump administration having to do some big PR release about searching people's coats for SIM cards? It's just a complete joke, anyway. Will
it make a difference? That's the biggest question, isn't it? So we're going to be talking to the government about this just after 9 o'clock this morning. Let us know what you think. I think we know what you're going to say. gbnews.com/your say.
Yeah, it's pretty nippy outside, eh?
It is. Very frosty this morning, isn't it? Very
Let's get your weather update with Greg Dewhurst.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing. And they will continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible. And then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice, temperatures widely again below freezing. So a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest of a little milder air trying to move in.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
gbnews.com/your say. Angela, good morning.
I was just about to read out as well.
You do it.
No, you do it.
You do it.
We've got the same idea.
I'm going home on... I'm joking. I'm going to America on Thursday. Morning, everyone. I've had enough of winter now. Got lots of snow here, and it's not fun anymore.
Is there lots of snow at home in DC?
There was when I left. This is my home.
Very good.
Stop trying to... what's the word? Repatriate me.
Repatriate. No, you like it here, don't you?
I love it.
But you're doing a very good job in the US, so you're doing very well. I'm over the winter, I've decided.
You're over it?
Yes, and
well, you spent your New Year in the Canaries.
That's why I spent Christmas and New Year's in the Canaries.
Actually, I did send you a laughing face emoji on Instagram because the video you put up was some sort of rainstorm, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that's very important to keep it real sometimes. I did post a video, didn't I, saying, what stunning weather, and it was absolutely chucking it down.
Yeah. Am I bad for seeing that and thinking, yes?
I think most people replied. I think everybody replied saying, ha! Serves you right trying to escape this weather.
Yeah, it does serve
And I
you
had
right.
it just as bad in Tenerife, if that helps.
Right, still to come, new year, new year. Can the Prime Minister make another year in the top job? He's insistent he's not going anywhere. We'll be discussing that next on GB News Breakfast. Back in the tick.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Brave.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around, a nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
Hello, welcome back to GB News Breakfast. Now, it's a new year in politics. It's a new year full stop, as you quite rightly just said. And Sir Keir Starmer says he will still be Prime Minister this time next year, warning frequent leadership changes akin to the Tories are not in the national interest.
Well, Sir Keir Starmer also said that change in leadership would be a gift to Leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage.
So, can the Prime Minister survive 2026? Former political advisor Charlie Rowley joins us now. That's the big question, Charlie. Will he survive?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New
Welcome
Year.
back. Yeah, how are you? That is the big question, and I think this year's going to be full of surprises.
Oh yeah.
And it could be the biggest surprise of all that the Prime Minister holds on. I think the local elections will be a disaster, but I think that's priced in to the current number 10 setup. I don't know whether it's priced into the backbenchers and to the rest of the Labour Party, including the unions. And membership, who will want to see exactly what the Prime Minister was talking about yesterday, which is turning the corner. He mentioned that, I think, a good handful of times in an interview yesterday. And I think to myself, well, there are only so many turns you can make turning that corner. I mean, you've made a few U-turns, but, you know, turning a corner is about making sure people feel that they're seeing the change that he's brought forward rather than him just talking about it.
And he says people are going to feel better off, that we are going to start to feel these positive changes, as he puts them. With May in mind and the local elections in mind, he has got a few months now, hasn't he, to try and get some good press in. What can he be doing in the next few months?
Well, he hinted in that interview yesterday, and it was only a hint for the ears like mine that might have picked up on it, where he said you're going to hear things, some changes month after month. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the run-up to the local elections, there's sort of... You have a weekly grid anyway, number 10, where you're trying to pump out good news stories and all the rest of it. But I would imagine that there is a targeted now set of January is going to be about this month, February should be about this month, March is going to be... So whether it's Education Week, Crime Week, something on the economy in the run-up to April, I think Rachel Reeves is giving a fiscal update, I think, in the first quarter of the new year, this year. So we'll have to wait and see. I think he and his team have clearly recognised that in order to get out of the doldrums in the polls that we're in, we need to have good news stories. We need to tell our story, such as free childcare, such as getting the NHS waiting list down. We need to hammer home that message week after week now, and not just deal with things issue by issue as they come up in his intro.
But that sounds fine. But the issue is he's not. He's already started not doing that by saying, if I am disposed, Nigel Farage, that man over there, the bogeyman, will come in. And he did exactly the same thing with the NHS doctors' strikes, the junior doctors' strike, saying, if you don't come into work today, you are giving Nigel Farage his dream of having the NHS privatised on a plate. Of course, he doesn't want the NHS privatised, we know that. But he always uses Nigel Farage as a bogeyman, saying, if you don't do this, look what will happen. That's not. Is it good enough? Is it strong enough?
No, exactly. And there was barely a mention of any other political party in that interview. It was about Nigel Farage, and particularly towards the end of the interview, he said that the next election, 2029, because Keir Starmer's pledged to be here for the full term, that remains to be seen. He says that the next election will be a fight between Labour and Reform. Now, he's described it as being a fight between a Labour government that wants that is tolerant, that wants diversity, that heralds all of that, versus what he said would be a reform that tanks the country ever more to the right. Now, I think many people, given the way that the polls are, and I think there was another poll out yesterday which predicted that if there was a general election tomorrow, Reform would have about 381 seats. They would wipe the floor with all the rest of the parties. They'd have a majority in that respect. So I think people's tolerance. We are a tolerant country, but that has been tested. We should not be tolerant of intolerance that's taking place in our country, whether it's about foreigners that come into the country that commit crimes, for example. We shouldn't be tolerant of the intolerance of the taxpayer stumping up a hotel bill.
That's all right. We can search their coats now and take their phones. The small boat migrants, so that will sort it out.
Well, exactly. But that's the thing. The Prime Minister will want to be sure that the country is now seeing some of the changes that they're talking about, like they've talked about smashing the gangs and stopping the boat crisis. The public now really do have to see that coming to effect. If it doesn't, it's very hard to see how the Prime Minister holds on. The only reason why I think he might is because Labour traditionally haven't been very able to remove their Labour Prime Ministers in the past. So who will actually move against him? That's the question.
Well, let's see. We saw Wes Streeting, didn't we, potential manoeuvres at the end of 2025. Andy Burnham, rumours about him as well. So we'll see what happens. Anything could happen.
Anything
in 2026. We'll see you in the next hour, Charlie. Thank you very much. Just on your point, Ben, Nigel's been in touch saying you can't... well, I don't know. It could be Farage. Could be Nelson. Nigel has been in touch saying you can't retrieve SIM cards from the bottom of the channel.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have to say, sorry to be such a negative Nigel, excuse the pun, first thing in the morning. This whole press release, this whole song and dance about being able to search people's coats, migrants' coats, for their phones, get their SIM cards. Really? Surely we're allowed to do that anyway?
People would be saying, well, why wasn't that happening anyway? I mean, that's just a basic, isn't it?
By the way, on a more happy note, I really enjoyed GB News Carols.
How stunning was that? I think it was my favourite thing I've ever been a part of.
It was really good.
Wasn't it great?
Yeah, I
more
really
of that,
enjoyed it.
please. I thought it was great.
Yeah. On that note, it's time now for our daily reflection.
The GB News 12 Days of Christmas. Day 12.
Hi, I'm Chris Tufnell, a vicar in the Church of England. If someone walks into a royal palace and asks, "Where's the king?" while looking straight past the reigning monarch, they're sure to cause a stir. And that's exactly what happened in one of the less well-known corners of the Christmas story. When the wise men arrived in Jerusalem, they walked into the palace of the local ruler, King Herod, and essentially asked, "We're looking for the newborn king?" Well, Herod's reaction was outwardly polite, but inwardly he was plotting murder. He felt threatened. He wanted to remove the rival. And if we're honest, he's not an outlier, he's a mirror. His reaction exposes something universal. Because every human heart comes with a little throne that we each like to occupy unchallenged. We resist the idea of someone else ruling our lives. That's why the Christmas message that Jesus has been born as our King is one none of us can be neutral about. Christians are those who have become convinced that Jesus is better at being our King than we are. That his rule doesn't crush, it heals. His authority doesn't imprison, it frees. So the wise men bowed, Herod resisted. And in the end, that's still the choice we each face.
Now, if you're travelling to work or school this morning, do be careful because the roads are going to be icy today, aren't they? It's very frosty outside. Here is your traffic and travel update.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the A835, There are restrictions in both directions between Ullapool and Torre due to adverse weather conditions, so please travel only if it is essential. On the M25 anti-clockwise, the entry slip at junction 27 from the M11 south is partially blocked by a broken down vehicle with one lane closed. Normal traffic is expected to return after 6:30 this morning. And on the trains, Caledonian sleeper services are disrupted tonight, while Great Western Railway is running minibuses instead of trains between Liskeard and Looe, with passengers advised to allow extra time. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Still to come, Coites's back and he has all the goodies in the sports, including Man City dropping points. Oh, that means Arsenal extend their lead at the top of the league. Great stuff. Back in a take on breakfast.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christie is here. GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. It's sports time. Paul Court, you've got loads of goodies for us, apparently.
Well, yeah, the Ashes. Oh, by the way, the Happy New Year. How many times? Yesterday I was at Spurs. I must have said Happy New Year about 10,000 times. I'm getting bored of saying Happy New Year.
When do you stop saying Happy New Year?
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? There's the amnesty, or is there a point? It should be by now.
Down with it.
I'd say the 7th, because then you've got a good solid week of saying it.
OK.
Then it's over.
Because I said Happy New Year to you. I said Happy New Year to you.
You could do a Kamala Harris.
Yeah?
Say, how dare we say Merry Christmas?
Oh, really?
How dare we say Happy New Year?
Right, OK. Well,
Are we not allowed to say Happy Christmas
no.
or Happy New Year?
Right,
Not in Kamala's world.
OK. Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. And Ben, Happy New Year to you.
No.
Oh, listen to you. You're such a curmudgeon, aren't you, Cindy? You weren't like this when you were in America, aren't you? Now you come back from America, hoity-toity.
I should be in a better mood.
When he was back home, he was happier. Sorry, we will let that
top
go.
of the league. I should be in a better mood.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk about Arsenal. So anyway, Ashes. Let's talk about the cricket firstly. Joe Root, 160. He'd never scored a 100 in Australia. This is now his second, so 160. Very good. England, 384. It's the final test. So the fifth test, we've already lost it, but possibly for England to win this one, I don't know. Australia currently 143 for one. Second day, coming to the end of the second day. Is that just all gobbledygook to you when I talk about cricket? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
I try and make kind of sense of it, but what I can tell you is that each test has gone very short. It's like we've had 2-day tests, we've had 1-day tests. They should be 5 days. But then you get, it's being played in Sydney. There are people that have spent a lot of money on tickets. So what they're hoping, they've actually created a pitch that would then last longer. In other words, it would suit batters longer, so then people will get their money, and then money will get their money's worth, and then money will go to Cricket Australia. Does that make sense?
It does, actually.
So they follow the 5 tests, so it's probably going to go 5 days, but I don't have a great feeling about it, although England did OK, but Australia, 143 for one. They're probably going to bat as long as they...
Are they still hungover?
Yeah, you know what? I think that all that stuff, though, was a bit over the top. You're allowed to have a drink when you're away, and then someone's filmed them, and it was just... I don't
need to preach to the choir, Paul. I'm an Arsenal fan of the 90s. Tony Adams, the Monday Club.
So, yeah.
Parlour, I'm all for it.
There you go.
Get them pipes down here.
Right, I am going to... For you, Ben, because you're my friend, I'm going to say Arsenal are top of the league by 6 points.
Thank you very much.
That's it, Ina. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. But the reason is that Manchester City actually drew yesterday at Chelsea. Or actually against Chelsea, it was actually at Manchester City. They were 1-0 up, and then they didn't finish it off, and so therefore they've let more points slip. So you are not overly confident that Arsenal will seal the deal, right?
I just said to you, it's one home loss against the likes of Wolves or Leeds or something on the... Of course it's going to happen. We won't win the league, as much as I want us to.
Interesting. You've got to think positively.
No, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm used to decades' worth of misery and disappointment.
The funny thing is there are a lot of Arsenal fans that I spoke to a few weeks ago that were like, yes, it's going to happen, who are now a bit, not sure. Nah. But now there's a gap again, so you never know.
Who knows?
You never know.
City are capable of going on a 10, 11-game win streak when they need to do it. Arsenal can't.
They are, but they're still stuttering at the moment when you expect them to do better. Now, Chelsea, because they did get this draw, looks like they're going to get a new manager today, which is interesting. Now, Liam Rossigna, who was the manager at Hull, and he's now manager of Strasbourg, and this seems like a bit of a strange appointment. Now, there's a little picture there. Now, that picture is from L'Équipe in France. We've got friends at L'Équipe.
Oh, we have got friends at L'Équipe.
We have, yeah, our friends over there. We've got... So, anyway, that picture there, that's him meeting Chelsea... Chelsea sporting director David Weir.
They don't look very excited.
Well, they're obviously undercover. They're just trying to keep it quiet. So basically, that's what's going on there. We expect that maybe he's going to come in as manager today, and the reason he is probably more likely to be at Chelsea than anywhere else is because Strasbourg are the sister team to Chelsea. So there we are. There's a lot more to go, and I will tell you more.
Yeah, loads of sports.
Reminds me of Ashley Cole meeting Peter Kenyon back in the day in some shady calf undercover.
It's all these shady. Yeah.
Also, great win for Rangers against Celtic. Was it 3-1?
It was 3-1. It was 3-1.
SPL.
Absolutely.
Well done, Rangers. Right.
Anything else you'd like to mention, Squid?
I'd like to mention to Coy.
That was loads of sporting news there.
Have we missed any?
No,
yeah, we've got loads.
I'll tell you what.
And we've got Fury as well.
We've got tons. But luckily, this is a cliffhanger. I will be back in an hour.
Yes.
Great.
Thanks, Squid.
Thank you.
Thanks, Squid.
You sounded so sincere when you said that. I appreciate it.
Right, time now for the Great British Giveaway.
That's easy for you to say.
The Great British Giveaway. Your chance to win 85 grand in tax-free cash, the equivalent of 7 grand a month for you to spend however you want. Here's the details.
It's a brand new year and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date.
£85,000 in tax-free cash to make your new year the best yet.
And we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate.
Imagine what the coming year could look like for you with a whopping £85,000 in the bank.
You can have the complete Lapland experience all in one place by visiting the Northern Lights Village.
Or just safe in the knowledge that this year is on us.
An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Now, do stay with us. Still to come, we're going to be going through the papers with Norman Baker and Dawn Neeson. Morning, you two. Chat to you in just a second. But first, we're in search of some holiday sun. Here's the forecast across Europe.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hello there. If you're after some warmer weather, Greece at the moment seeing temperatures above average. Still the risk of some showers across the Canary Islands at the moment and parts of Madeira. Perhaps southern Spain also seeing 1 or 2 showers, but generally some bright skies around. Heavier rain for parts of Italy on Tuesday. Could be thundery at times, and then the risk of some showers into Greece, but temperatures well above average for the time of year. And it remains so here for the next few days until eventually starting to cool down.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Martin Daubney, weekdays from 3 p.m.
Well, you're absolutely right. Spot on. I couldn't help feeling that perhaps it was actually just a joke, and they were going to come back in 2 years' time and say, we took you all in. It was, in fact, a joke. Now we're going to produce something more serious, because it's absolutely hilarious and ridiculous. Commercial suicide, I described it as.
Well, the individual behind it is no more. What would you like to see from the brand? Presumably not people with asymmetric haircuts in pink dresses with sledgehammers doing precisely zero to do with cars.
Well, again, absolutely. You're spot on. I mean, it's just totally unrelated to cars at all. It wasn't even a car in the advert. Jaguar was built on style, and that brought passion for cars. That's what made them different. I remember many years ago, a Jaguar executive in the States saying to me, people say, I like my Mercedes, but I love my Jaguar. It's all about passion. Style engendered that. That's what we've got to have. We need to see a proper, more traditional, stylish, real Jaguar that can build on the brand and the heritage of the past.
OK, Philip Paulson, I'm going to put you on the spot now. If you're in charge of the next Jaguar advert, what would it look like?
As diametrically opposite and different as it possibly could be from what they produced. I suppose, I mean, I live a little in the past, I admit, although I also think I'm hopefully realistic about the current situation and everything, the present. But I'd like to see the heritage shown. Jaguar were not afraid to talk in the past about their heritage, the Le Mans wins back in the 50s, the E-Type in the 60s. This is what added excitement and luster to the brand.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to GB News Breakfast. Dawn Neeson and Norman Baker are with us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
We're allowed to say next week. Ask ChatGPT and you can say it until... Hang on.
Until 10 o'clock
I've lost it now. You can say it until up to the 7th of Jan.
Okay.
It's widely acceptable.
All right, well, Happy New Year
After that,
to
it
you.
gets a bit late.
And it's the last day of Christmas as well.
It is.
No more fairy lights.
No more fairy lights. Got to take those
Ellie
decks
took her
down.
decks down weeks ago.
I got annoyed with them.
It's not a happy new year for Maduro, maybe even Greenland, and maybe even the head of Colombia.
Yeah, pretty much a full set of papers this morning leading on the situation in Venezuela. Obviously, the story broke at the weekend with Trump going in and taking Maduro out, now facing charges in New York for drugs trafficking and arms. So that's that part of the story. But now it moves on, obviously, because what you do in Venezuela, you can maybe do in other countries. And obviously, one part of the world that Trump's had his eyes on for a while is Greenland, which is part of Denmark. So another NATO country. So now we're in the situation of potentially having one NATO country, i.e. America, having a go at another NATO country, i.e. Denmark. Could be interesting. I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but...
But then we've got Katie Miller, wife of Stephen Miller, tweeting a map of Greenland yesterday.
I saw that picture.
With US colours and the word soon on it. What did you make of that?
Well, I mean, I think... I'd like to think she was doing it as some kind of joke, but who knows? I mean, Norman...
I don't think it was a joke. I think this is Wild West territory here. This is 19th century gunboat diplomacy, where the power that has got... if you've got a powerful country, it can go and intimidate another country. That's what we're back to now. And the thing is that what's the difference between what Trump did with Venezuela and what Putin's doing with Ukraine, or what Xi Jinping might do with Taiwan?
Well,
This is where we're going.
Surely, Norman, you know the difference.
No, I don't know the difference. The difference is not...
He was an illegitimate leader. He's a head of a drug trafficking cartel. He stole the US's oil reserves, or basically closed down the ExxonMobil and Chevron in the 1970s. Venezuela did, anyway.
Venezuela did, he didn't.
Yeah. So he's a completely illegitimate president with Venezuelans starving to death.
Yes,
on the street.
they are.
The only people who support him are his government cronies. So
no, I mean, no one's defending Maduro. I mean, the man is completely beyond the pale, and it's great that he's gone. But it cannot be right that the United States can unilaterally go into another country, a sovereign state, and remove its leader,
but they're not
arrest
sovereign.
him. They are sovereign. They're an independent country.
They have rigged elections, and he's a dictator. There's no. But even Venezuelans have said our country is no longer is sovereign.
It's not a US. It's not a US department. He's got no right to go in and do that. What he did. I'm very glad he's gone, but it's not for the US to do that.
What do you make of what Putin and President Xi will be thinking about this in terms of Taiwan, in terms of Ukraine, in terms of the Baltic nations?
Well, it's very interesting because there's two messages. I mean, you know, is this about oil? Is it about sort of like, you know, getting rid of an illegal leader, if you like, or is it about sending a message out to China and Russia? All of those apply, and I agree, Ben, it really does. But there's two messages sending out here. One is Trump flexing his muscles and saying, you really don't want to mess with us because this is what we can do. But on the other hand, it's also sending that message out that gives carte blanche to go into another country.
Exactly.
And not so much the Russia-Ukraine thing, but certainly China with one eye on Taiwan.
Yeah.
They're thinking, well, you can't possibly now tell us not to do exactly what you've done.
Norman, you said it's not for the US to do what they've done, but if it's not the US trying to save the West, who else?
Well, not trying to save the West.
Everybody else is surrendering themselves and their civilisations to communist Marxism.
Hang on, he's not trying to save the West. He's trying to assemble US influence and US power in Latin America, going back to the Monroe Doctrine of decades ago. That's what he's doing. This is about America first.
And who leads the West? Who is the leader of the West? It's the United States.
He's not doing it on behalf of Britain.
I mean, he is. He's been sending diplomatic cables out to European embassies, including Britain, saying, in 20 years, if you don't sort your countries out to do with migration, commies, Marxism, your societies, your civilization won't be there in 20 years.
It's not for Donald Trump to determine what other countries do, what other democracies do. What he has done in power has been to weaken NATO, to weaken the West.
So you still think Venezuela was a democracy?
Venezuela, no, Venezuela was a mess, and it is a mess. But Venezuela needs to sort itself out, not be sorted out by a power that comes in for its own purposes. He's not trying to help Venezuela. He's trying to make sure he's got oil, he's got more influence in Latin America. This is about influencing America, not about influencing Venezuela. He's not interested in Venezuela per se.
Dawn?
Well, I think about influencing America. I mean, Trump's policy was always America first,
exactly.
putting America first. I'm not entirely sure his MAGA fan base could be happy about this because it's deflecting from what's going on at home, making America great, rather than concentrating on another power.
Yeah.
Dawn, Norman, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you again in about 45 minutes' time. Now let's get a check on the weather. It's frosty outside. Here's Greg.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing, and they will continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible, and then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice, temperatures widely again below freezing, so a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest, of a little milder air trying to move in.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you for making us Britain's #1 news channel. Together, we have built something truly extraordinary.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the A835, there are restrictions in both directions between Ullapool and Tor because of adverse weather, so only travel if you really have to and allow extra time for delays. On the M25 anti-clockwise, the entry slip at junction 27 from the M11 south is affected by a broken down vehicle, with one of 2 lanes closed. Conditions should return to normal just after 7 this morning. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast is reporting disruption around Stoke-on-Trent, while the Caledonian Sleeper has disruption to services later tonight. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's a brand new year and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date.
£85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
And we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate. An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Good morning. Donald Trump doubles down on US control of Venezuela.
The US president says Delcy Rodriguez, Venezuela's interim leader, must now comply with his wishes.
Don't ask me who's in charge because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Well, it comes as Nicolas Maduro is expected to appear in a court in Manhattan later today.
Maduro and his wife are currently in a New York detention center on drugs and weapons charges.
He's very sick, too. Run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
President Trump hints that other countries might meet the same fate as he hits out at drug trafficking from Colombia.
We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
And he's not done yet because President Trump sets his sights on Greenland, claiming it's needed for defence from China and Russia.
Elsewhere, beginning today, mobile phones and SIM cards will be seized from migrants who cross the channel without needing to arrest them. It's as part of efforts to tackle the ongoing crisis.
And new year, new Keir. The Prime Minister sets out his strategy for 2026, but is it enough to keep him in the top job?
An amber weather warning is in place across parts of the UK today as blizzard conditions are forecast. Flights are cancelled and travel disruption is expected.
What do you think about this one? As a ban on advertisements on junk food is coming in today, we're asking, do you support the move?
And sport this morning in the final Ashes test in Sydney, Joe Root scores a brilliant 160 as England score a respectable 384. Currently, Australia 164 for 2. How much longer? Here's a question for you. Will Ruben Amorim last at Manchester United? Maybe he doesn't even know that. And Tyson Fury is set to make a boxing comeback. Again.
Hello there. Scenes like this for many of us this morning. Widespread hard frost, some snow and ice in places too. Find out all the weather details coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Breakfast. Good morning, Happy New Year, hope everybody's well. Coity, I was asking, and you, Ellie?
Yeah,
I was asking the top grossing bands from world tours, live shows, of since the millennium. Any guesses?
Taylor Swift, obviously.
Stones will be in there?
Yep, the Stones are in there, Swifties in there as well,
Obviously.
but not the leading...
Chicory Tip, are they there?
Not Oasis, no.
Oh.
One more guess?
Hasn't been a world tour, has it?
Oh, my goodness
Come on.
me.
Well, you've seen it now.
Who could it be?
Oh, I've seen it now, I can't ruin it.
£2 billion.
Oh, yeah, Coldplay's going to be. Yeah,
Coldplay are officially the biggest earners on the road since the start of the millennium. They've taken $2 billion from their tours all across the world. And
Elton.
Joined by the likes of the Rolling Stones, Ed Sheeran, Sir Elton, and even, for you, Ellie, Swiftie.
But, guys, you know the whole of music business has changed now because years ago, you would tour to support an album. Whereas now they don't make any money from releasing albums. All they are is just almost an advert for the tour because the money is in the tour and the big money is in the merch. It's in the merchandise. That's where they make most of it. T-shirts, key rings, the Ben Leo Hug Me pillows, all those sorts of things. It's all the merchandise that makes the money. That's it.
Sounds like a good idea.
I got loads of Taylor Swift merch. But then I resold it because I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah.
What did you buy?
It's like T-shirts and key rings and posters and pictures.
And did you sell them at a profit?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't sell it for enough.
Hope you told HMRC.
Wow.
I'll be
I didn't
grassing
make
you
that
up.
much money, unfortunately.
Do you have any merch? Did you buy any merch whenever you go to concerts?
No, but Ben Leo Hug Me pillows sound
I
pretty
like the
good.
sound of that.
Sounds
The thing
good.
is, that's the future.
If you could, before we move on, if you could see one band live tomorrow, who would it be? One artist?
Oh, mate, what, Dead or Alive?
Yeah.
No, Dead or Alive, actually. no, I would go... It would be the Beatles, without doubt. It would be the Beatles.
That's a good one.
Without doubt. Or Elvis. I know it sounds old-fashioned.
Yeah, Elvis would be
Elvis
good.
and the Beatles.
What about you, Elsbeth?
Elvis would be good, or I would have liked to have seen Elton John in his final tour.
Listen, it's never too late.
Never too late. If he comes back again,
If
I'm not
Tyson
sure he will.
Fury's coming back 3 or 4
That's
times,
true.
Elton will do as well.
What about you?
Maybe Michael Jackson.
I saw him a couple of
Love him.
MJ.
You saw him?
Yeah, I saw him a couple of times.
Was he great?
He was great. Yeah, he was very good. Jumped
Yeah,
up through the
incredible performance.
It was like it was all quiet, and then bang, and then flew up through the stage.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an incredible show.
Yeah.
Robert Williams
bad
been in
tour.
touch. I don't think it's Robbie Williams, but Robert Williams been in touch saying it's Elvis for me as well. I think we'd all like to see Elvis, wouldn't we?
I think Elvis was, he was 91 a couple of days ago, I heard. Elvis.
Oh, I thought he was dead.
8th of January, so it's his birthday in 3 days. 91 he would have been.
Very good.
91, that's right. Yeah, 1935.
I saw Priscilla Presley, you know, on a flight in September.
Did you?
Yeah, coming back from Nashville.
Did you speak to her?
So glad. No, I would have loved to, though. That's the end of my story.
Okay, it's good enough for me.
But I
It's
saw her.
That's the closest I'm ever going to get to Elvis.
And I got good vibes, yeah, and it was close as I'm ever going to get to
I thought you were going
Elvis
to say
as
she was boozing, sinking Bailey's
well. No,
hot
she
socks.
was a classy lady, looked very glam. Yeah,
Nice.
I had a lot of time for
I'd like to go to
Priscilla.
Raceland.
So would I. I should have gone.
Elvis didn't have really very good taste, though.
Well,
You
he
know,
did in
the Jungle
Priscilla.
Room, it was it's not the greatest taste. I nearly bought a lock of Elvis's hair at an Elvis auction once.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, sewn into the side of my head. But yeah, they're actually, and there was 3 colours because he was originally blonde. He was never dark.
Right.
So there's a bit of blonde, there's a bit of dark, and there's a bit of grey on there as well.
Wowzers.
I don't
How
know what
about
to do with
that?
that information.
Huh?
I don't know what to do with that information.
Well, you wouldn't know what to do with the hair.
Thanks,
Right, top story. There's only one doing the rounds, I guess, on the front of all the pages. Donald Trump says Venezuela's interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, could face a fate worse than that of deposed President Nicolas Maduro unless she complies with the president's wishes.
Well, this comes after Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured and detained on drugs and weapons charges after a military operation on Saturday. They are due in court in Manhattan later on today.
Venezuela has denounced the military aggression and the army says it backs Delcy Rodriguez and it contradicts President Trump's claim that the US would now run the country until a proper transition takes place.
Well, all of this comes as Donald Trump has also said that the United States needs Greenland for defence.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it.
And he wasn't done there because on Air Force One, the president hit out at drug trafficking in Colombia, hinting that they too could see a similar fate.
Colombia is very sick, too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and...
It sounds good to me.
Well, let's speak now to former chair of the Defence Select Committee, Tobias Ellwood, who joins us now. Morning to you, Tobias, and Happy New Year. Politics aside for a moment with all of this, in terms of a military operation, this was stunning, what we saw at the weekend.
It was indeed. I think it's going to be talked about for many, many months, indeed years to come. Gargantuan in size, bringing together all domains of warfare, taking out the air defences, Delta forces, special forces moving in and doing something quite incredible with no loss of life. So from a purely military perspective, very, very impressive indeed, and a mission accomplished. But I'm sure, as we'll no doubt talk about, the consequences are absolutely astronomical.
Yeah, Tobias, people before the United States announced they were going to be taking control of Venezuela, I mean, the operation did receive lots of praise, but I guess the question mark comes now in the claim that they will be taking control and suggestions that President Trump has overstepped the mark, and indeed now talking about Colombia and Greenland, which are different prospects.
Yes, I think you put it very diplomatically indeed. There are enough pieces of the jigsaw, not just what's happened in Venezuela, but as you've been reporting, these new threats by an American president against Greenland. We're seeing nothing less than an assault on our post-World War II order by Donald Trump. And I'm surprised it's taken Britain so long to call this out. America is our closest security ally, absolutely. But when an American president uses force, uses coercion, and takes America down such a dangerously unilateral and isolationist path with massive ramifications for global security and giving license to our adversaries to follow suit, then the world is in trouble and we should speak up. I mean, Article 24 of the UN Charter is pretty clear. Individual states are not supposed to decide unilaterally when force is justified, except in narrow cases such as self-defense and so forth. That's clearly not the case here. My immediate concern is that Trump has not thought this through. He likes the fast deal, and to run another country looks like he's going to repeat the mistakes that were made in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Trump seems keen to work with Vice President Delcy Rodriguez. But I understand that the Venezuelan constitution means that once she's replaced as president, what then happens is that there must be fresh elections. And that would then bring in somebody else. That would actually bring in the former Nobel Prize winner, who was the leader of the opposition. And that's clearly not going to be the case here. So what we're seeing now is President Trump supporting the Maduro regime de facto through the vice president, preventing fresh elections from coming through.
Has that surprised you, Tobias? Because they've taken out Maduro, but they haven't wanted to change the regime. They haven't backed the opposition leader. And the Telegraph reporting today that Ms. Rodriguez has close ties to the Kremlin, that she was actually in Russia at the time of Mr. Maduro's capture. I mean, that must be concerning to President Trump.
It is. As I say, I'm not sure that he's aware of any of these details. I'm not sure he appreciates the fact that the situation that we have at the moment is one very, very precarious, very, very difficult indeed, and to the point whereby we don't know what's going to happen next. There was a comparison, if you like, with 1989 in Panama, where we had the situation, a president was then removed and but replaced by the person who'd lost the election. In this case, Maduro had fixed the 2024 elections, but instead of allowing the opposition now to play an active role in Venezuela, Donald Trump is bypassing all that. So again, huge questions for sovereignty, for democracy, and for international rule of law. Again, I repeat, why is it taking so long for Britain to call this out?
Tobias, just final word. I guess you could argue there was no democracy or sovereignty in Venezuela when President Trump and his administration went in, because Maduro was an illegitimate president. He rigged the last election, and many people, you can see from the streets of Venezuela now, plenty of videos online of Venezuelans, even Venezuelans in London, celebrating, crying tears of joy. So I saw one clip of a Venezuelan resident in Caracas saying, we are not a sovereign nation because the elections are rigged. We've been living under a despot dictator for all this time.
Yes, that's very fair indeed. But is this the way that you then depose a leader through coercion, through military force? And of course, many nations in Latin America will now be saying, what on earth do I do to protect myself? I worry now that many countries will now lean towards China to say, I need some form of backing. I can't afford to have America possibly do that to me as well. So these are very, very dangerous times indeed. Ultimately, though, this is actually about oil. It's about America keeping the lights on. It's about Donald Trump realizing that the heavy oil that Venezuela has is exactly what is now required in the United States of America. They have oil refineries in South United States that are dormant because of their push towards shale gas. So this is very clear. This is very unilateral approach, and it is wrong, and we need to call it out.
OK, Tobias Elwood, as always, very good to see you. Thank you for joining us on the programme this morning.
Thank you.
Right, gbnews.com/your say. Let us know what you think about that. It is the only story dominating all the front pages. I guess the development is Trump now setting his sights on Greenland, which I guess will be a different prospect, a NATO ally, maybe different to a despot dictator. Elsewhere, on more domestic matters, the Prime Minister, it's a new year, of course, in politics, and Sir Keir Starmer says he will be PM this time next year, warning that frequent changes of leadership is not in the national interest.
Well, Sir Keir Starmer also said that a change in leadership would be a gift to the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage.
So, can the Prime Minister... Sorry, Ellie, you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the big question. Can he survive 2026?
Well, in other news, we've been talking about these new measures granting immigration officers expanded powers to combat organised immigration crime, and it consists of being able to take the phones off illegal migrants who are crossing the channel.
Yeah, I mean, the big surprise for me is that we couldn't do this anyway. Charlie Rowley's with us now, former political advisor. So apparently, Charlie, we have sweeping new powers, bells and whistles. We can search illegal migrants for their phones, apparently.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, news to us all that should have been something that's happening in the first place. I mean, the reality is that if you come into this country illegally, you should be able to say who you are, where you've come from, what conflicts you're fleeing, what persecution you're under. If you can't give that information, regardless of whether you've got a mobile phone or not, if you've chucked your passport into the sea and you can't identify your age and you claim to be 14, 15, even younger, and you've got a beard longer than mine, then you know, we've got a bit of a problem. The idea of searching someone's phone is, you know, we need to process people quickly, and people who shouldn't be in the country need to be deported. Otherwise, you see an influx of people, a pull factor of people coming into the UK, of economic migrants, not refugees, and you face a problem.
Can I ask you about the Venezuela situation? It is the top story today. I mean, Tobias Elwood just saying there Britain needs to be calling this out. And the Daily Mail leading today that the Prime Minister actually faces a revolt by the left-wingers in his party who want this to be called out as an illegal act in breach of international law, what we saw from President Trump at the weekend.
Well, the two things. I mean, to Ben's point earlier on, if you just look around the world and see what Venezuelans are thinking, how people are reacting to this. Outside the US Embassy in London yesterday, I think you had somebody that was able to, a young woman who was able to grab a megaphone, who was surrounded by people wearing Palestinian flags and all kinds of other banners that were a left-wing group of people that have jumped on a bandwagon that feel that because they're anti-Trump or because they're whatever they're on the hard left, they feel that this is problematic. Whatever your views of Trump, and this is what Venezuelans will tell you, whatever your views about Donald Trump, of which it will be mixed in Venezuela, they are celebrating. They are celebrating the fact that this dictator, who has run Venezuela into the ground, that has caused mass migration, people to flee the country, 8 million Venezuelans have had to leave. A lot of those have gone into, you've guessed it, the United States, illegally, because they are seeking refuge. So it is an American problem. And when you have, I'm afraid, I agree with Marco Rubio, when you have adversaries of the US, like Russia, like China, Chinese officials were in Venezuela on the day in which this mission took place, why on earth would those countries, adversaries of the US, want to get close to Venezuela? Yes, it's about oil, yes, it's about minerals, but it's about a way of life, a state in which people are in poverty, that can't get out of that. When Venezuela was one of the richest South American countries previously, it's now obviously one of the worst. So,
there was a State Department memo doing the rounds in Washington some weeks ago, start of December, basically confirming that Venezuela was allowing Iran to bypass sanctions by selling them and funneling on oil revenue to Iran. China was also involved as well. So what you just said then about people opposing Trump and not the issue itself reminded me of a tweet I saw yesterday, an ex-post, which briefly said, most political issues nowadays can be explained by understanding that American leftists don't have positions, and Brits, I'd argue, they don't have positions, they have oppositions. Their entire belief system is defined by negation of whatever the right supports. This is why Portland chants Free Maduro, while actual Venezuelans celebrate in the streets.
Exactly. And look, I'm no fan of Emmanuel Macron at times. I think the French need to do an awful lot more to help with the migration crisis that we're seeing coming into the UK. Of course they do. But even he was straight out with the traps on Twitter to say no tears will be shed for Maduro, in effect, that this was the right thing to do. Obviously, you've got to follow the rules of law. But, Venezuela had a French national that had been captured. That had been imprisoned, you could argue illegally. So, of course, the French had a position on it. They support this. They think it's a good thing. Whatever your views about Donald Trump and whatever your views about what's going on in Europe with Ukraine versus the American approach. But our Prime Minister and our government seem to be waiting for the facts and waiting for the full picture and waiting for international legal eagles to come forward with their view. No, stand up for what is right. And what is clearly wrong is a mass migration that has taken place from Venezuela into the US, where a country has been plunged into poverty when you've got a dictator that is not just going to harm the US by allowing its deals with Russia and China to take fold. That is a threat to all of us. So look, Donald Trump said he was going to get on and do something if nothing happened in Venezuela. He's done that. I actually think we need to see that kind of leadership here back home.
OK.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think at home. gbnews.com/your say. Charlie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Right, still nippy outside, isn't it? A bit icy, a bit frosty.
I think it's going to stay that way.
Snow on the way, perhaps. Let's get a weather update with Greg Dewhurst.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing. And they'll continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible. And then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice. Temperatures widely again below freezing. So a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest, of a little milder air trying to move in.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Right, still to come. Should the UK ban adverts on junk food entirely? What does that include? Donuts?
Yes, burgers, chips, all the things that you love.
Well, I guess what is the definition of junk food? Does it include my favourite energy drinks in the morning? If so, no, leave them alone.
I reckon it would, yeah. I reckon it would.
OK, we'll discuss that.
All the bad things. Yeah, we're going to be debating that next.
Bold. They are under no illusion. Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it. Don't get this on the BBC. Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines. The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it? From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos. What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things up the cars. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock, only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Right, the high in fat, sugar or salt advertising ban, which outlaws junk food adverts on television before 9 p.m, and a total online ban, well, that comes into effect today.
We're asking this morning, is this yet another case of nanny state Britain, or should the UK ban adverts on junk food entirely? Is it the right course of action?
Joining us now is political commentator Oliver Dean and the former Health Minister, Lord Bethell. Good morning to you both. Thank you for your company. My first question, maybe for you, Lord Bethell, is what defines junk food? Something that's high in fat, sugar and salt. I mean, potentially, minus the sugar, that can include a nice steak, for example. Is that junk food?
No, they're very clear definitions, and I can refer them to you. And the food manufacturers and retailers and restaurants are under no illusion about what junk food is. One definition of junk food is that it's quite addictive and that children, once they get into the habit of eating it, find it very, very difficult to stop. It creates real cravings, that combination of fat, sugar and salt. I mean, I find it unbelievable. You know, at the end of a long Christmas here, shaking off my own junk food addiction is going to be a tough thing for me to do in January. One thing I would emphasise, you asked, is this nanny state gone mad again? I think a definition of nanny state is that it's unpopular and resisted by people. These bans are incredibly popular. 79% of the public support them. It's actually the politicians who are off the pace on this. So, no, I don't think that this is nanny state.
Oliver, do you think it's the right course of action?
No, absolutely not. And I think this is a very clear example of nanny state overreach. And, you know, we've just talked about the definition of junk food. By the definition put forward in this legislation, things like porridge oats, some types of cereal could be prevented from being advertised. Absolutely. And yet sausage rolls are still allowed to be advertised. It's ridiculous. There are a load of hypocrisies in this legislation. And the data is very clear. I mean, TfL did a study just a few years ago surrounding advertising bans. And the conclusion of the report was clear, which was that in the same period that the ban was trialled, childhood obesity actually increased in London. And so this idea that this is actually going to prevent childhood obesity from happening is ridiculous. And I think it just shows that this government doesn't trust Britons to make their own decisions.
Lord Bethel, what's your beef with porridge?
Well, if I can come in on... Listen, Oliver is 100% right. There's no way this ban is going to move the needle on childhood obesity in the UK. It's not nearly enough. We need to throw a kitchen sink at this problem. Do you know we've got 37 childhood obesity clinics being run by the NHS at the moment? This is a new thing we've had to create because we've got so many children who are struggling with their weight. And as for the porridge, Oliver should go to Tesco or Waitrose and look at the cereal counter. It is full of Kit Kat cereals, chocolate porridge, all sorts of cereals that are 25, 35% sugar. The cereal industry has got completely hooked on the sugar addiction, and our children are paying a steep price for that. As for the TfL ban, sure, on its own, it didn't make a difference for Londoners, but it was incredibly popular. 82% of Londoners supported it, and it did lead to a decline in the consumption of junk food in London. So I think it was actually a template for the kind of effect that this measure can have. I just think we need to go further. I've just got back from Japan. You get on the train in Japan and you get offered all sorts of artisanal food from a wide variety of restaurants who are using food from small markets, from farmers, not from McDonald's and from junk food manufacturers. You go to Paddington Station, and as you know at GB News, it is wall-to-wall Pret-a-Manger and Cornish pasty company. That's all right for adults, they can make their own choices, but for our children to be bombarded with this advertising night and day as they leave the school, it's left our young people completely unhealthy, and it's costing the nation a fortune.
Oliver, you've been shaking your head there.
Yeah, I am shaking my head because what's clear is that like I said earlier, this is just the case that the government doesn't trust consumers, doesn't trust ordinary Britons, doesn't in fact trust parents to make decisions for their children. We've seen this government time and time again infantilise the British public. We've seen it with the tobacco ban. We've seen it now with this advertising ban. And I think Keir Starmer and Morgan McSweeney are sat there in Downing Street, probably concocting some type of scheme to try and erode more and more of our freedoms and our rights. It's completely ridiculous that this government can sit there and effectively saying that, no, we do not trust you, ordinary people up and down the country, to make decisions for yourself. It is entirely ridiculous. And I think this ban is just going to be a complete failure and it needs to be repealed immediately.
Last word to you, Lord Bethel.
I think freedom from obesity should also be valued, and we don't give our children much choice. You walk back from a school, back to home, and try and find a nutritious meal. Bloody difficult. So I think freedom from ill health is something that we should value both individually and as a nation.
OK, thank you both. Really appreciate the debate this morning. Thanks for your contributions and Happy New Year to you. I think we should have more focus on, if you're just talking about weight, pure weight and obesity, more focus on being active. Kids playing more sport.
Grassroots sport.
Call me a bad dad, but I allow, really, to my wife's dismay, I allow the boys to really eat kind of whatever they want.
But they're running around all the time, aren't they?
Exactly, in moderation, because they're playing so much sport, they're running around, and even Jude, my eldest boy, he's like me, he's, thin as a rake. So I think more focus needs to be put on, being active, kids being active. Because, of course, if you're going to give kids sweets and chocolates and donuts and they're not really doing anything, of course they're going to get fat.
Yeah. And parents being hands-on in terms of nutrition as well. It starts at home, starts with cooking, starts with making everything from scratch, if you can. Makes all the difference. Just share this from Sue, who says, this is none of my business, to turn a phrase, let them eat cake. The government doesn't need to stick its nose in every detail of our lives.
The government does.
Well, that's her point.
Really?
Doesn't need to.
Oh, OK.
Just doesn't need to.
Got it. Did you gorge over Christmas?
I did gorge over Christmas.
What was your treat of choice?
Now, chocolate.
Chockies?
Yeah, biscuits.
Ooh.
Just everything, really. It's quite bad.
Well, as long as you enjoyed yourself.
I did enjoy myself.
Good.
But it's back to discipline now.
That's
what about you? Were you eating
anything? Yeah, I was pretty off the wagon. I've really got stuck into Bailey's hot chocolates recently.
Oh, I had a Bailey's hot chocolate recently. Other brands are available.
Yeah.
Very good. Very nice. You could buy lots of treats with this money, couldn't you?
Yes, £85,000 in tax-free cash. It's the equivalent of having £7 grand a month in your bank account to do whatever you want with. Hayley Sparks has all the details.
It's a brand new year and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date. £85,000 in tax-free cash to make your new year the best yet. and we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate. Imagine what the coming year could look like for you with a whopping £85,000 in the bank. You can have the complete Lapland experience all in one place by visiting the Northern Lights Village, or just safe in the knowledge that this year is on us. An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Now, do stay with us. Coming up, Tyson Fury is back again. And so is Paul Coit again. This is GB News Breakfast with Ben and Ellie.
Thank you for making us Britain's #1 news channel. Together, we have built something truly extraordinary.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the A835, both directions are restricted between Ullapool and Tor due to adverse weather, so only travel if essential. In North Lincolnshire, the M180 westbound has a crash between Junction 2 and Junction 1, with one lane closed. In Cheshire, the M6 southbound has a multi-vehicle incident between Junction 18 and Northamptonshire. The M1 southbound has a broken-down vehicle between Junction 19 and Junction 18, with one lane closed. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast has disruption around Stoke-on-Trent. And Caledonian sleeper services are disrupted tonight. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience, because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m, only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock, only on GB News.
Coitie's here with the sport. Hello, Paul.
Hello. Second day of the Ashes, which is closed for the day. England 384, which is respectable. Australia 166 for 2. 5 days of the Test, 218 behind. And Australia, I expect, will score more tonight. Going into tomorrow.
Not so good.
Managers. It's a very strange time for managers. You got Enzo Maresca, who left Chelsea under a cloud. It was all very bizarre, and he wasn't happy with the hierarchy. The same thing's going on with Ruben Amorim at the moment at Manchester United. See, the thing is, managers, back in the old day, managers used to be a manager of the football club and used to run everything from top to bottom. Then the scourge of the manager, which is the sporting director, which is the one above that will deal with all the transfers. They often get in the way. There's very few, I think, that actually work well together. So now Ruben Amorim, after getting a draw with Leeds, he wasn't happy because he was asked about how he gets on with the hierarchy, and, well, this is what he had to say yesterday.
I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach of Manchester United. And that is clear. I know that my name is not Tuchel, it's not Conte, it's not Mourinho, but I'm the manager of Manchester United. And it's going to be like this for 18 months, or when the board decided to change.
See, the main thing to take from that is the fact that he said, I'm a manager, not a coach.
Yeah.
And it's almost, well, there's the other guys getting in the way here, and things are going on that he's not too happy with. It's just, and it's always the start. These things never end well.
There's tension behind the scenes.
There is. It's just wonder how long it's going to last.
He was saying his contract is, what, 18 months? So he just said, look, I'm going to do my contract and I'll see you later.
Yeah, exactly. And who actually, whichever manager would say, after the 18 months I'll go, will actually last for 18 months. And it's the only job in the world where you can do it wrong, and it doesn't matter what happens, you will always get paid off. So you could do the worst thing, you could get yourself fired, and then you'll always get the payoff at the end of it. So it seems almost like that Ruben Amorim
you can wipe your tears,
too happy.
Wipe your tears with your pound notes.
Exactly. But they're sixth. They're sixth, and then they're 31 points. So, I mean, it's not like they're having a disastrous season.
Who's top, Paul?
Who is it? Is it Man City, Aston Villa, Arsenal are top? And should we use the phrase, for the time being, Ben?
Yes.
For the time being.
For the time being.
For the time being. I, personally, do I think they're going to win it? I did a couple of weeks ago. I haven't said it yet. I'm not sure. I really don't know.
No, I don't. I love my team, but I don't think we'll win it.
You don't think so?
Right.
It's going to go down to the wire. OK.
Fury.
Fury is going to return to boxing. Tyson Fury in 2026. Again. How many times has there been the retirement? I'm not going to fight.
Money talks.
But the thing is, you're so rich. You must have hundreds of millions of pounds. Yeah. But he said that 2026 is the year, the return of the Mac, been away for a while, but I'm back now, 37 years old, still punching, nothing better to do than punch men in the face and get paid for it. But unfortunately, the thing about boxing is that you often get punched in the face yourself. So whether he's going to actually... And the big fight that everybody would have spoken about is Anthony Joshua. And we know what happened with Anthony Joshua last week and that terrible car crash. So whether Anthony Joshua's going to fight again, is there an appetite to see Tyson Fury fight again? I wonder. Well, certainly not as much as there would have been before.
Yeah, I guess it goes to show no matter how much money you have, money doesn't mean, OK, it helps, but it doesn't really mean much materially when it comes to... Let's get a bit deep now, shall we?
No, you're right.
Spiritually, your existence on Earth, if you've grown up boxing your entire life...
That's right.
You want to box.
And it's like money is one thing, but you never set out... It's like footballers. You never set out to be a millionaire by playing football. That comes along with it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, now I've retired, what am I supposed to do? I'm never going to be a gardener. Anyway.
OK.
Thank you, Paul.
By the way, next hour, after 8 o'clock...
Where's the Olympic torch?
We'll find out where the Olympic torch is.
Yes.
Where's it been over Christmas, I wonder?
You hear us ask.
Thank you, Shorty. Right, still to come, Norman Baker and Dawn Neeson will be here to go through all the papers, but first, there they are. Deep in discussion. Plotting their conversation. If you're in search for some holiday sun, here's the forecast for some top European destinations.
Can't wait to get in that sea.
Lovely and warm.
Just like the feeling of having great travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hello there. If you're after some warmer weather, Greece at the moment seeing temperatures above average. Still the risk of some showers across the Canary Islands at the moment and parts of Madeira. Perhaps southern Spain also seeing 1 or 2 showers, but generally some bright skies around. Heavier rain for parts of Italy on Tuesday. Could be thundery at times, and then the risk of some showers into Greece, but temperatures well above average for the time of year. And it remains so here for the next few days until eventually starting to cool down.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
Patrick Christie's Tonight. Weekdays from 9 p.m.
Look, this is winter. It's flu. Flu comes in winter. Sure as eggs is eggs. There's nothing particularly special about the virus. It has mutated, but that change has made it able to spread through the community by defeating our existing immunity. But the virus itself remains the same in terms of its clinical impact. So while it's a problem at a community and population level, lots of cases, for people who catch this, it's no worse than normal seasonal flu. It's not like we've got a supercharged flu that makes people much iller. We've got a virus that's spreading better and it's come earlier. So we're seeing it rising up the sort of infectious disease rates faster for this time of year. And there are a number of reasons for that, partly because it is a different virus, it's mutated. We haven't seen this particular strain spread for a couple of years. So population immunity levels are quite low. That's
Look,
why it's
so
spreading more.
what you said there, very calm, very rational, quite reassuring, to be honest with you, seems very logical, understandable. Earlier today, the BBC decided to do a report that looked a lot like this. Let's play the clip.
The throwback, isn't it? We were used to wearing these a few years ago. Now this is the precaution being taken. Also, people are being told to make sure their hands are clean and that they're not bringing germs into the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't got time to play it all, but she goes on to, like, you know, use the hand sanitizer. Again, I'm just wondering if it's a little bit fear-mongery.
Well, look, we must take flu seriously because it's a fact that if we tot up the excess mortality in the wintertime, just in the UK, and we attribute a lot of this excess mortality to flu, in an average year, maybe 5,000-6,000 people will lose their lives to flu. And in a bad year, it might be as high as 20,000. So we don't take this lightly. We're not complacent about flu.
GB News, the People's Channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Ties with Brussels.
Welcome back to Breakfast with Ben and Ellie. Dawn Neeson and Norman Baker are here as well.
Morning.
Hello.
Morning. Hi.
Hello again.
We were talking about Venezuela a lot this morning, so should we just look at something else for now? The Guardian, and this is Sir Keir Starmer seeking stronger ties with Brussels.
Well, I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, who'd have thought that would be a thing?
I thought it was a new year, new Keir.
Yeah, right. Which bit? Well, actually, but closer ties to the EU, single market preferable to customs union, says Keir Starmer. Bear with me, this gets more exciting, honestly. So what he's saying, it's in our national interest, and we should consider closer ties to the EU, but I'm not undoing Brexit, is what he's saying. Now, the problem is, it's like, you know, you can argue the points about single market, customs union, etc., but any deal you do with the EU now, you're not going to come off well, are you? Because you're the one going to them. They're not going to go, oh, we're welcoming back with open arms. They're going to make life difficult for you, whatever way he plays it.
They won't make it easy.
And this has obviously been interpreted by both the Conservatives and Reform as undoing Brexit.
Norman, I've already been accused of being a MAGA propagandist this morning by some viewers. So my question with that in mind is, should the UK not be looking maybe to cosy up more with the United States rather than the EU?
Well, we have got a trade deal with the US, which, by the way, they're trying to renege on as we speak, because they're now coming back for more. They want us to have their chlorinated chicken and everything else. So they haven't actually enacted what they promised, which in terms of access to technology. So we're not having got the trade deal actually in force that we agreed. In the meantime, we're paying a £3 billion Trump tax by the increase in the amount of money we're giving to pharmaceutical companies, a 25% increase, which we're getting nothing back for. £3 billion it could go into the NHS. So, no, I think we need to look at our closest neighbours, because geographically it makes sense to do business with them. Our trade has dropped, unfortunately, since Brexit with the European Union. So we have to look at the national interest. Now, we shouldn't be anti or pro-Europe. We should just be looking at things from the British point of view as to what's best for this country. And clearly, dealing with our near neighbours makes some geographical sense.
OK, what about ousting me would be a gift for Nigel Farage, so says Sir Keir Starmer, Dawn. He seems to me, the Prime Minister, to kind of point at Nigel Farage all the time. During the doctors' strikes, he said, striking doctors, if you don't go into work today, you are giving Nigel Farage his wish of a privatised NHS. He always points to Farage, doesn't he?
Well, to be fair, Nigel Farage is living rent-free in pretty much all politicians' heads at the moment, because Reform are top of the polls, and despite a slight dip just before Christmas, they are still pushing Labour. I think the last poll was Labour in 4th place. But the thing is, Keir Starmer is going to say this, because he wants to stay in power, he wants to stay as leader of the Labour Party. He's not going to actually come out and say, well, getting rid of me would actually be a good idea for the Labour Party, is he? Because even though I think it probably would be a good idea, as Norman and I were talking about during the break, the problem is we're getting rid of Keir Starmer is, who do you have waiting in the wing?
Yeah,
who's going to replace him?
There's really nobody else, and it's a very, very weak cabinet. And actually, it's a very weak.
Is there nobody else?
I don't think so.
Talk of West Streeting, talk of Angela Rayner.
Well, Angela Rayner, of course, is not in the cabinet anymore. She's now in the backbenches. West Streeting, I don't actually rate personally. Yvette Cooper is a safe pair of hands. But, I mean, go back to the old days of people like Dennis Healey and so on. There were real talents there, which I don't see in the front bench anymore in the government, or actually in the Conservative front bench either.
West Streeting has been described as Tony Blair 2.0.
Well, I wouldn't describe him that way, but...
How would you describe him, Norman?
I would describe him as someone who wants to climb the greasy pole, and that's the priority he's got for set of himself. I don't think he
applies to a lot of politicians.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
That applies to Keir Starmer.
But I mean, it does. But I mean, you actually have to have politicians who actually want to do things for the country rather than just for themselves. I'm not sure West Streeting fits into that category. Yeah. However, the thing about the Labour Party is that. What do they actually believe in? I'm not clear what the narrative is. Again, Dawn and I were talking about this off air. You know, if there was a programme saying this is what we believe and this is what we want to achieve and this is how we're going to do it, people would either say, yes, I agree with that, or they don't agree with it. But, you know, Starmer's kind of weaving his way around individual issues.
Well, apparently that is the plan now in the run-up to the local elections. We were hearing from Charlie Rowley, weren't we, earlier on, that they've got a new comms mission. So every month there'll be a new focus on crime,
new comms issue,
education, all the way up to local elections, trying to get some positive press out.
It's comms issue. It's not about
But there
policies.
is a comms issue, though. There is a comms
issue, but you can't solve everything simply by having a good spin doctor. You can't.
Well, I think there's a competence issue, no? I mean, you mentioned about the quality of the cabinet, both the Tories and Labour. If you compare it to, say, again, I'll go back to President Trump's administration, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is a self-made guy, $600 million self-worth. He's managed hedge funds all around the world, worked for Soros back in the day. He doesn't need to be in politics. But he's now running the Treasury. Compare that to Rachel Reeves, who may or may not have been an economist at the Bank of England. So the contrast is stark when it comes to sort of competence and knowledge of the job.
Rachel from Accounts. Well, I mean, Rachel from Accounts is not my first choice as Chancellor, I have to say. Coming back to the story, though, which is on the Times, about Farage, I have to say that just a word of warning for those who are supporting reform, and I speak with my reform tie on this morning.
You are very turquoise
today. You spotted your tie, Norman, your reform-coloured tie.
There's a hard lesson here from the SDP Liberal Alliance, which is that opinion polls don't necessarily translate to seats in the Commons, partly because the electoral system we've got. And you have what the Lib Dems have done very successfully is actually managed to secure a large number of seats, 72 seats in the Commons, with only a relatively small number of votes. And you can get what the SDP Liberal Alliance had in the 80s was actually 25, 30, 35% of the vote and very, very few seats. In our system, you have to be able to target particular seats, and I'm not quite sure Nigel Farage has understood that point.
OK, Dawn, just very briefly, we thought this was happening already, but migrants' phones will be seized in order to catch smugglers. These are new powers coming out.
Just stop the boats. I don't care what you do with their phones, right? Just stop fiddling around the edges and just stop the... I was going to swear then. Just stop the blooming boats. This is just another one of those things. They put it out there, as you were talking about the comms issue, put it out there and it's like, oh, we are doing something, honestly. We don't... Well, and honestly, is that going to make any difference? No, of course it isn't.
Yeah, we now have have permission to search migrants' coats for SIM cards.
And take phones off them, seize phones.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to read that and have exactly the same reaction. It's like, just stop the damn boat.
Sweeping new powers. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Norman. Back in just a tick. Let's get your weather update on GB News Breakfast.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing. And they will continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible. And then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice. Temperatures widely again below freezing. So a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest, of a little milder air trying to move in.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for helping us reach 10 million followers across our social media platforms. We're truly honoured to have your trust, one follower at a time.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A835 is restricted both ways between Ullapool and Tor because of adverse weather, so travel only if necessary. On the A470 southbound from Nantgarw to Corriton, congestion is building. In Cheshire, the M6 southbound between Junction 18 and Junction 17 has a road traffic collision, with 3 of 4 lanes closed and delays of around 1.5 hours. Normal conditions should return around 10:30 this morning. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast has disruption around Stoke-on-Trent, and Caledonian sleeper services are disrupted tonight. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Hello from the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland. We're on an amazing Arctic adventure to celebrate our greatest cash giveaway, a simply stunning £85,000. And in 2026, we're giving you the chance to win it all.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
A really important thing about GB News, and it's brought something completely different to the landscape.
The mainstream is all about keeping the status quo as it is, ticking along quite nicely. They don't want to ask difficult questions.
GB News exists because there is a desperate need for fearless journalism that puts the people first.
GB News came on the scene as a disruptor, and it has always been a disruptor ever since.
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, the reality is that most British journalists are afraid. That's not GB News.
Journalism is journalism at the end of the day, and we're not here to serve any masters. Our masters are our audience.
We're here to talk about things in a way that have never been broadcast on British airways before.
Do not miss a moment on GB News.
The #1 news channel in the country.
Good morning. President Donald Trump doubles down on US control of Venezuela.
The US president says Delcy Rodriguez, Venezuela's interim leader, must comply with his wishes.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Well, it comes as Nicolas Maduro is expected to appear in a Manhattan court later today.
Maduro and his wife are currently in a New York detention centre on drugs and weapons charges.
He's very sick, too. Run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
That's President Trump hinting that other countries might meet the same fate as he hits out at drug trafficking from Colombia.
We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
Well, he's not done there, because President Trump now sets his sights on Greenland, claiming it's needed for defence from Russia and China.
Elsewhere, beginning today, mobile phones and SIM cards will be seized from migrants who cross the channel without needing to arrest them. It's part of efforts to tackle the ongoing crisis.
Elsewhere, is the government reversing Brexit? The Prime Minister says the UK is prepared to align even more closely with the EU single market if it's in the country's national interest.
An amber weather warning is in place across parts of the UK as blizzard conditions are forecast, flights are cancelled and travel disruption is expected.
And in sport this morning, at the close of play on the second day of the fifth Ashes Test, Australia are 166 for 218 runs behind England. After a last-minute equaliser against Man City yesterday, Chelsea are likely to have a new manager today. And how much longer will Ruben Amorim last at Manchester United, as it seems there's a power struggle at Old Trafford?
Hello there. Scenes like this for many of us this morning. Widespread hard frost, some snow and ice in places too. Find out all the weather details coming up soon.
Good morning. It's 2 minutes past 8. I'm Ellie Costello.
I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Breakfast. Good morning, good morning. A train worker was sacked for serving a customer a sausage roll that he fished out from the bin. After claiming he'd gone too far for the customer.
Why was he fishing a sausage roll out the bin?
Well, it's very bizarre. Peter Duffy was on a London North Eastern Railway service from York in 2023 when he retrieved the snacks from a bin and then served them to first-class passengers.
Oh, no.
How do they find out, though?
At a later meeting with bosses, he admitted, I took them out as there were none left for people in first class, but they were wrapped in foil.
That's all right.
That was me trying to do the best for the customer. He was sacked for gross misconduct. A tribunal dismissed his complaints last week.
I don't have a problem with that.
Have you ever eaten food from the bin or
Yes, yes, I have.
The 5-second rule.
What, when it hits the ground?
Yeah.
I'm never too worried about that.
If it's in a wrapper, I suppose it's fine.
If it's in foil, and also, what else is in the bin? You know, if it's like a few foodie bits. You've got one of the food caddy things, right, where you put your old food.
Oh, that's
in
very
it.
fancy. No, we just throw it
You don't have
all
one.
over
You just chuck it all in the one.
same bin.
So if there's a bit of food that may be, you know, really, I'm just ashamed of myself where I'm going with
on
this.
national TV that you eat out of bins.
Yes, I may have done.
Ben?
What about you? I don't think I'd retrieve food from a bin, but maybe the 5-second rule. My young boy, Zach, yesterday dropped some popcorn on the floor. I said, Zach, leave it, and he kicked off, and I said, OK, picked
Fine,
it up.
have it.
He did it, or you ate it?
Oh, no, I blew the popcorn off and just cleared the dirt and gave it to him.
OK, yeah.
So- What was
It's
it
good for their
covered in
immune
stuff?
system. Good for their immune system, just to keep testing it.
And you, before we move on?
I haven't fished food out of a bin, no.
Right,
And
still
it's-
time yet.
Yeah, there is still time yet.
Never say never.
Never know how things are going to go.
Yeah, we don't know. Anyway.
Right, we're joined now by Shadow Minister of State for Illegal Immigration, Crime and Policing, Matt Vickers. Good morning, Matt. Nice to see you and thanks for your company. I shan't be asking you about bin retrieving. Good morning. However, I would like to ask you about this new sort of sweeping powers with bells and whistles on to search illegal migrants for their mobile phones. It seems utterly bizarre, Matt, that this wasn't a thing anyway. Are we so inept as a nation that we can't search illegal migrants for mobile phones?
Well, first up, I am a regular LNER traveller. It brings me down from my part of the world. It's minging that he took the stuff out the bin. But what is really bad is that they do not sell Haribo on LNER trains. They do sell it on the Grand Central. You heard it here first.
Outrage.
But when it comes to those mobile phones and removing them from illegal migrants, the reality is there was already powers in legislation to do this. I think the Migration Act allowed us to take electronic devices, to search them, to seize them, and to do all those things. But the other part of that legislation that the Labour government repealed required the Home Secretary to remove people who came here illegally. This is all tinkering around the edges. The only way to solve this illegal migration crisis is to remove people who come here illegally. They aren't sat in Cali going, oh my God, if I get over there, they might take one of my 10 phones off me. They aren't sat there trembling about this one-in, one-out scheme that sees 99.5% of the people who've arrived whilst it's been in place stay. The only way to do this is to remove them. People who break into this country, who come in illegally without permission, without the passport, who have no right to be here, should be removed. That's how you solve this. Everybody at home knows it. It's a common sense approach, and we know it works because we tested it when we had that agreement in place with Albania. It was one of the top places from which people were arriving in the country. We stopped those people coming, we removed them straight away, and all of a sudden, 93% less of them were arriving in this country. We need a deterrent, we need it in place. Everything else is tinkering around the edges.
But in order to do that, as you know, you'd need to leave the ECHR, which of course now is Tory policy. But the government is saying they don't want to do that. Instead, the ECHR can be reformed. Do you think that is a possibility?
No, we've been through this. In fact, we've got a huge, lengthy document prepared by some of the greatest legal minds in the country that tell you why you need to leave the ECHR to get this done, tell you about the consequences and the process for doing so. When you look at stories like Chicken Nugget Gate, when you look at people who I mean, Shamima Begum is the latest story on that front, isn't she? Somebody who this country, who the people that, you know, the public, the great British public, have elected to Parliament to represent them, to make decisions. Those decisions should be made in there, not by the ECHR, not abroad by foreign courts. We need to leave the ECHR. We need to get a grip on it so that we can prevent people breaking in the country, but also so that we can remove people who've come here and committed some of the most heinous, vile crimes.
Matt, can I ask you please about President Trump, the situation with Venezuela? He's now got his sights set on possibly Colombia and also maybe a different prospect, but Greenland as well. What is the Tories' latest position on Venezuela and President Trump? Because I saw Kemi Badenoch, your leader's post on X, I think yesterday or the day before, but correct me if I'm wrong, it was still a bit kind of, well, let's wait for the details. I mean, you've seen more details now. What's the position?
I think the reality is that Maduro, it's kind of underplayed actually. This guy is one of the most brutal and oppressive dictators there has ever been. He's up to his eyes by all accounts in drug cartels. So bad, so oppressive has he been as the illegitimate leader of that country? Remember, he lost a presidential election, decided he was keeping the keys anyway and remaining in charge of that country. But so oppressive has it been that 8 million people have left Venezuela. That's like 20% of the population. You think it's bad here, it's clearly worse there because we haven't got 8 million leaving here. But so bad, horrendous, and that can't be underplayed. So it is a good thing for the globe. It is a good thing for the people of Venezuela that it's gone. It's right now that there's some time put in place, some stability, do whatever it takes to put a sustainable democratic election in place, allow the people of Venezuela to decide what comes next. That's the right thing to do. When it comes down to did or didn't the USA break international law, I think that's the thing for the USA to put their case for. We haven't seen all the details of that yet. The reality is that the USA is a huge partner to this country. They're one of the countries and places in the world that share our values, share our interests. They're a huge partner to us in terms of trade, in terms of security, defence, intelligence. So we should let them make the case for what they've had to do and what comes next.
But we still don't have a straight answer, do we? Are you supportive or not of President Trump's military operation on Saturday to remove President Maduro as president of Venezuela?
I think it's a good thing for Venezuela. I think it's a good thing for the globe. With regards to the rights and wrongs of international law, I'll let the international legal minds make that decision rather than some MP from the northeast of England.
Matt, just before I let you go, please, Keir Starmer says the UK is prepared to align even more closely with the EU single market if it's in our country's interest. Is this a Remainer coup by the back door?
This is another huge broken promise from the Labour Party. They broke their promises to our pensioners, they broke their promises to our farmers, they broke their promises to everyone at home who pays council tax. They said not a penny more on council tax. Every promise that was in that manifesto has been, I'm yet to find one that hasn't been broken, but this is another broken promise. It's also just a distraction. The reality is that Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer have trashed this country's economy. Inflation up, nearly doubled. Growth, we handed over the fastest growing economy in the G7. It's now the slowest growing in the G7. 21% more people are unemployed. They're out of work. They've lost the opportunity to provide for their families. The only people winning out of this government is benefits claimants. It's wrong. Hard-working Brits out there working day and night know that it isn't Brexit that's cost them their jobs, that's causing them to pay ever-increasing taxes. It's the guy in number 10.
OK, Matt Vickers, as always, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme.
GB News Chief Political Correspondent Catherine Forster joins us now. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You heard what Matt Vickers had to say about Labour then trashing the economy of this country. Is that entirely true? What would they say if they were here?
Well, what would they say? They would say they are focused on the cost of living. Today we will hear from the Prime Minister. They want to talk about what they're doing to bring people's bills down. But of course, we're all talking about Venezuela, what Trump might do in Greenland, a NATO ally, of course, run by Denmark. And the government, I don't think, are going to get much of a hearing on cost of living because Matt Vickers there didn't really want to pass judgment on Trump's actions, but very punchy on Labour, saying another huge broken promise and saying, you know, you've only done well from Labour if you're a benefit claimant. And the reason that things are going badly is the guy in number 10. Of course, the Prime Minister desperately wants to convince his MPs and anybody who might think of moving against him that he's going nowhere, that this year we're going to start to feel that things are turning a corner.
Do you think this is going to be the end then in this whole New Year, New Care speak? Do you think this is going to be the end of the on manoeuvres talk and rumours that we've been hearing about Wes Streeting, Andy Burnham? I mean, there was talk of Angela Rayner at the end of 2025, wasn't there, as well? Do you think that's all put to bed now?
Yeah, but no. No, absolutely not, because look, they can see the poll ratings, they can see that the Prime Minister is the least popular Prime Minister in modern recorded history, and they think they're all going to be losing their jobs, or dozens of them going to be losing their jobs come the next election. So no, I think I can't be certain that after May or before May, Labour MPs will replace him, simply because it's very difficult. Also, it didn't work very well for the Conservatives, and they don't know who they would put in his place.
Can I ask you, Catherine, would Nigel Farage, Kemi Badenoch, would they want Keir Starmer to stay in his job? Or do you think it'd benefit them to have a shake-up and they can accuse them of chaos?
I think it probably suits them for him to stay.
To stay, yeah.
I mean, it depends. The polling indicates that anybody else that they put in his place probably wouldn't fare much or any better.
Right.
Wes Streeting is a good media performer. Andy Burnham is the only one that the polls suggest would give them a bump, would improve their standing. But, of course, he's not even an MP, and there's no easy way of him to get a seat.
He's a long way from that, isn't he? Catherine, thank you very much.
Thanks, Catherine. OK, let's bring you the latest on the top story today. President Donald Trump says Venezuela's interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, could face a fate worse than that of deposed President Nicolas Maduro unless she complies with America's wishes.
Well, this comes after Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured and detained on drugs and weapons charges after a military operation on Saturday. They're due in court in Manhattan today.
Venezuela has denounced the military aggression and the army says it does back Delcy Rodriguez, and they contradict President Trump's claim that the US would now run the country until a proper transition takes place.
Well, this comes as President Trump has also said that the United States needs Greenland for defence.
We need Greenland for national security. Not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it.
Well, he wasn't done there because on Air Force One, the president also hit out at drug trafficking in Colombia, hinting that they too could see a similar fate.
Well,
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long?
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and...
It sounds good to me.
Well, let's speak now to our national reporter, Charlie Peters, who joins us now. Morning to you, Charlie. This is on the front page of pretty much all of the papers here this morning. Questions about legality of the action on Saturday and also questions about what happens next, what this means for the likes of Greenland and Colombia.
Well, good morning, Ellie and Ben. I think first and foremost, the US government will disregard any concerns about the legality of this action. You know, quite frankly, where they see their position in the world is if they want to achieve something, they will. And it's certainly the case that China and Russia think the same way. It's not international law stopping China from invading Taiwan. It's might, it's resistance from the US Navy and its allies. It's certainly not international law that prevented Russia from invading Ukraine because, of course, they went on to do it. You hear the concerns raised from some commentators and indeed politicians. It sounds as though their main opposition to that invasion of Ukraine is that essentially Putin didn't have the right permit. He didn't follow the law. Actually, it's a brutal invasion. That's the main concern. So I don't think that criticism is going to have much impact on the Trump administration. But just going through some of the comments we heard from him there on Air Force One, repeating his criticism and indeed warning to the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro. In his press conference on Saturday, he said he needs to watch his ass. I mean, remarkable language to use about a world leader, a Latin American president, repeating similar language yesterday about drug trafficking, which, of course, has been the main justification overtly from the US about why they did what you're seeing on your screen right now, putting Nicolas Maduro on a US warship, taking him to Guantanamo Bay, and now where he is in the United States, in New York City, awaiting his first court appearance today. But while we await that appearance, there is going to be more reflection on the comments that Trump has made and also the slight softening in the stance of Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president of Venezuela, who it appears in the back channels between the US and Caracas had some sort of agreement in the last few weeks. US officials felt as though they could trust her to take on this sort of puppet role as Venezuela becomes essentially an American colony. They see her as a viable alternative because they thought they could trust her with the oil infrastructure in the country, which is, for all intents and purposes, let's be frank, clearly the main involvement of the United States. For all the bluster about drug trafficking and narco-terrorism, it's clear from language used by the US president in his remarks in that remarkable press conference at Mar-a-Lago that actually it's more about oil and indeed stopping China and other world powers from getting access to it. But let's just take you through the change in tone that Rodriguez had taken. Last night, when hosting a cabinet meeting, she started talking about an agenda of cooperation with the US. She said that our peoples and our region deserve peace and dialogue. Just a couple of days ago, she said that Maduro had to be freed, and she was resisting the US action. Now, Ben and Ellie, it seems as though she's happy to play along with it.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't want to meet the same fates as Maduro. Charlie Peters, thanks very much, national reporter for GB News.
Thanks, Charlie. Or a worse fate, as President Trump was saying yesterday.
I mean, what could be worse than that?
Face a worse fate. Well, I think we know what that means.
Death. Right. On that sombre note, let's get your weather update with Craig Dewhurst.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing. And they will continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible. And then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice. Temperatures widely again below freezing. So a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest of a little milder air trying to move in.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Apparently, Suffolk is blanketed in snow right now.
Ooh,
I've just heard.
Beautiful. Send your snow pictures in. Should we do a call out?
Yeah, let's do a call out. Well, there must be snow everywhere.
gbviews@gbnews.com. You can't send them on your say, unfortunately, but any snow... Actually, I covered for Martin on Friday and we did the same thing. Lots of amazing pictures coming through. gbviews@gbnews.com. Have you got snow, maybe a dusting of ice?
Yeah, be careful if you're out and about on the roads today because it is very, very icy out there.
I nearly slipped this morning.
Do take care, yeah, and be careful when you're walking around as well. Be careful.
Right, still to come. Is the government doing enough for deprived children in Britain? We'll be joined by Britain's strictest headmistress, Catherine Berbelsling, next. That's coming up on GB News Breakfast.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday from 8 p.m.
The National Trust has come under fire after declining a Catholic filmmaker's request to shoot a documentary at St Cuthbert's Cave in Northumberland. St Cuthbert's Cave was a crucial location for the film, as it's traditionally believed to be where the saint's body rested in 875 before he was moved to Durham, where it remains today. The Trust justified its decision by citing the project's religious affiliation, sparking accusations that the heritage charity has breached equality laws and is engaging in illegal religious discrimination. Well, I'm joined now by the filmmaker at the centre of the story, Christian Holden. Christian, thank you for coming in. So, first of all, tell me about St Cuthbert. Why do we mind about St Cuthbert?
Well, St Cuthbert, this historical figure, this great figure of the northeast of England and the Scottish borders area, was renowned for his physical prowess, for his great night vigils. I approached the National Trust to ask permission to film there, and the initial response I had from them by email was that they didn't host any filming of a religious or political nature. I made a phone call to that particular person and explained more about what we hope to do, and that aside from its religious storyline, there's also historical value to it, cultural.
And so you were making the case that St Cuthbert was a cultural icon as well as a religious icon in the northeast of England, a very important political as well as religious figure in the consolidation of Christianity in the northeast.
It's such a critical part of our culture and our heritage, particularly in that area as well. So I was bewildered to be refused to visit and film this site of such importance on the basis of essentially being a Christian filmmaker.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Welcome back to Breakfast. It's 8:24. Now, the UK's strictest headmistress at Michaela Community School in Wembley, Catherine Berbelsing, says that victim culture is ruining the life chances of our poorest pupils.
Yeah, it comes after Labour's recent curriculum review alongside new proposals for uniform changes.
Well, we're delighted to say that we're joined by the lady herself, Catherine Berbelsing, this morning. Very good morning to you, Catherine. A fascinating article in The Telegraph today, an interview with you over lunch, it seems, at Michaela Community School in Wembley. In it, you talk about many things, but you do mention that the Labour Party doesn't want to see deprived children succeed. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's too much to say that they don't want to see them succeed. It's just that all of their policies are going to make sure that they don't. In fact, I think it's very typical of their thinking, which is to celebrate victimhood and to allow poor children or children who come from deprived backgrounds, whatever it is, to indulge in this idea that life is against me, the establishment is against me, and I can't just work hard and do what's necessary in order to get the best possible GCSEs and make something of my life. There's always been this tension, I suppose, between those who very much lean towards the left and those who believe more in giving children an opportunity in order to do something with their lives. And victimhood culture really does stop, I would say, children from being able to grab the opportunities in front of them.
Yeah, Catherine, totally agree with you. And by default, any socialist government will run on that kind of agenda, you know, no aspiration. I agree with you. However, how does that manifest in the classroom to teenagers studying for their GCSEs? What's going on?
Okay, that's a good question. So if you're in an environment in the classroom where there's a real sense of, well, the teacher feels bad for asking a child to make sure that his homework is in because she knows he comes from a poorer background, or the teacher knows that this child's dad isn't at home, or he's been having problems at home. And then we say, oh, it's okay, don't worry for you. You don't have to get your homework in, or you don't have to be on time. And it seems like it's compassion in the first instance. But actually, in the end, when the child leaves school and he's functionally enumerate and functionally illiterate, that's not compassion. It's best to have the same high standards for all of the children in the classroom and in the school so that everyone will work hard to meet those standards. And it is true, we say to ourselves, but that doesn't seem fair because not everybody's at the same starting point when they begin. And that is true. It's not fair. You know, life is not fair. But the fact is that if you don't work hard and pull yourself up, then you're just going to end up on the scrap heap. That's what happens. And unfortunately, I would say that this Labour government is far more concerned with making excuses for children instead of holding their standards high and holding the line. And the curriculum review very much demonstrates this. They are moving back to the progressive ways that existed before the Conservatives came in 2010. You know, in my early career, everything was very much project-based learning. You'd stick Post-it notes on each other's foreheads and move around the classroom to make things so-called fun, as opposed to thinking we need to teach these kids lots of basic maths and English and get them to learn stuff so that they can do something in their exams and in the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, we are moving back to the way things were before 2010 now. That has happened both in the schools bill and in the curriculum review. And you mentioned uniform, for instance.
Yes.
The way in which schools turn around, if you want to turn around a difficult school, the behavior is difficult. Broken windows theory. You look after the tiny things, the big things take care of themselves. You need to be able to have branded items. The Labour government now is preventing a certain number of branded items that would be required for a school to turn around its difficult behavior. And they don't understand. They're politicians. They don't really get what's required to turn around a school that has difficult behavior problems. And they're not really interested. They're not going around asking the successful head teachers and visiting the successful schools to ask them how they've done that. They've rejected it all, and instead they're putting through ideas that come from their own sort of ideological position of thinking that's what's right to do.
Catherine, we are out of time with you, but is there still an invitation there for the Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, to visit the Michaela School if she so wanted to?
Very much so. Unfortunately, she hasn't taken us up on it yet.
Oh, well, there's still time. New year. Maybe it's a new Education Secretary. Catherine Burbelsing, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Catherine. Let us know what you think about that. gbnews.com/you'll say. Many of you contacting us already. Sezi, you've said, I 100% agree with Catherine. The left absolutely do feed off victimhood. Steve, you said, this teacher's spot on. Mary, all children should be treated equally. Yeah. That makes them feel included. Treating them differently excludes them. I guess in Labour's defence, they have rolled out free, breakfast clubs and so on. But I think Catherine's point was it's more the mentality of victimhood, which I think is just a thing of the left generally.
Yeah, and I think she's right when she talks about giving children excuses, where actually if you just say, no, you turn up to school on time, you look smart, you have your kit with you, let's learn today, let's get things done.
Yeah.
I think actually that teaches them to go further, doesn't it? If you are reading one thing today, it's fascinating, that article in The Times. It's a day at the Michaela Community School in Wembley. It's fascinating. They get 7 minutes to eat their lunch. They're encouraged to have conversation over the table.
7 minutes?
7 minutes to wolf down their lunch. Yeah, really
it depends what the lunch is made of.
Yeah, they go around and talk about things that they're grateful for at the table.
I like that.
Yeah, so apparently they all mention their teachers. They're all grateful for their parents.
What are you grateful for?
Come
on then, on the spot.
My job. It's my first day back at work today after a nice holiday. Yeah, so it's nice to be back at work. What about you? What are you grateful for?
My kids, my wife, my family.
That's nice. Oh, and
health.
My family and health, yes, all those things as well, yes. That's good to start the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like being at the Michaela School. Let us know what you think. gbnews.com/you'll say.
Right, time now for the Great British Giveaway. £85,000 in tax-free cash could be won. I guess you'd be feeling very grateful if you won that. Hayley Sparks has all the details.
It's a brand new year and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date.
£85,000 in tax-free cash to make your new year the best yet.
And we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate.
Imagine what the coming year could look like for you with a whopping £85,000 in the bank.
You can have the complete Lapland experience all in one place by visiting the Northern Lights Village.
Or just safe in the knowledge that this year is on us.
An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Very good luck. Lots of you quite rightly saying, Ben, the breakfast clubs are not free. We pay for them through our taxes.
Yes. They're not free.
Free for the recipient, I guess, but yeah, quite right. Now, if you're travelling to work or school this morning, here's your traffic and travel update. Don't forget to stay with us on digital and radio as well.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the A835, both directions are restricted between Ullapool and Tor due to adverse weather, so travel only if essential and allow extra time. On the M4 eastbound, there is congestion on the exit slip at junction 33 for Capel Lanilturn. Also on the M6 northbound exit slip at junction 40 in Cumbria, a crash has closed one of 2 lanes, causing delays. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast has disruption around Stoke-on-Trent, while Caledonian sleeper services are affected tonight, with delays expected. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Now, do stay with us. Still to come. Question this morning is...
Where is the Olympic flame?
Yes.
Where is it? I don't know where it is.
Well, Paul's going to tell us.
Oh, Corty's here in a second.
Yeah.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact is Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air
gbnews.com/your say, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
We're fascinated by Ben Leo's coffee. It's making sounds.
I can hear the sea.
Yeah. You know when you put a seashell to your ear?
It is like that.
I'd
making
be worried
noises.
if I were you.
I don't know what's going on with this coffee, Paul.
Just imagine what that's going to do to your stomach.
Here, you
It's
drink
like
it.
waves crashing. Honestly, put it to your ear.
Can you hear that?
So weird. I'd be worried about what someone's put in that, Ben.
What's on the menu, Paul, for sport?
Where's the Olympic torch?
Yes.
Do you want to start with the Olympic torch?
I think let's mix it up.
Well, let's find out, because the Winter Olympics is now just 1 month away. So let's see where the Olympic torch is. I'm going to miss the Olympic torch relay. Where do you think that is?
Skegness.
No, it's not Skegness, Ben.
Italy
Try again.
somewhere.
It is, I'll tell you, it's the 27th leg of the relay through Italy. It's on the east coast, the left side of the boot, along the Adriatic coast. Although you can't see the coast there, the seaside city of Montesilvano. It's heading north to Silvi Rosetto, who I think was a girl I used to go out with in the 1990s. Silva Rosetto degli Abruzzi.
So what's the procedure? Where does the flame go? Does it head to different countries?
The flame will eventually end up in Cortina. It's going to Milan. So it will be the 70th anniversary of the last time that the Winter Olympics were in Cortina, is when it arrives in Cortina.
Right.
And that will be in a month's time, and that's when the Winter Olympics will begin, and will be all across the Winter Olympics. Look at it. I think she's over-egging the flame there. Now, what is that? I don't know what that flame is there.
That's a cauldron.
I don't know where the cauldron's come from. Has the flame gone out and they've got another cauldron? But there we are. She's lit it and off she goes. A little run would be good. I'll stroll along.
She's quite relaxed with it, isn't she?
I know, it's not very good scenery, though, is it, there?
Just remind me, Paul, what kind of sports and disciplines do we see at the Winter Olympics? Skiing, of course. Anything else? Curling? Is that a...
I could keep going all day. Yeah, and you name them. What's that one?
Skeleton.
Skeleton. What's that? Oh, I see what you mean. No, this on the back, though, isn't it? Skeleton. You sort of lay it. That's it. There you go. That's it.
What's the front one?
That's...
Bobsleigh.
There's the bobsleigh. Yeah, there's the bobsleigh. There's the luge, which is the small one.
I like that
That's
one.
around the ring. Then we've got the ice skating. We've got the speed skating. There's so many disciplines.
Curling? I really like curling.
I love the curling as well. Would you like to play curling? Actually, I did get a message from someone saying, come and play curling. I think it was somewhere in the north. Yes, I would love to. And Ben, I think you should probably hold off the trip back to the States and we'll go curling together.
Sure. No, hit me up. I'll be there.
OK, curling will be good. Quick word about what's going to happen at Chelsea. I think, if not today, then probably tomorrow. Liam Rosenior, who was at Hull, he was at Derby with Wayne Rooney, and he's manager of Strasbourg, and the link with Chelsea and Strasbourg. See, that's the secret meeting. The meeting that was photograph taken by L'Equipe.
It doesn't look like a very fun meeting.
But it's
They all look
serious.
miserable.
They're thrashing out business. Photographed by L'Equipe with Chelsea sporting director David Weir. That's Liam there with his head in his hands. Probably he's been told that he's got to stay at Chelsea for quite some time.
Was he not at Brighton?
Was he at Brighton? I think he was. Yeah, the thing is, his dad was a famous player, and he was a player, and he also did a lot of punditry as well on Sky. Really decent guy. But the thing is, there's the link between Strasbourg and the owners of Chelsea, because that's the sister club, so they own that as well. So they think, well, move him along, and where we have problems with Enzo Maresca, I wonder whether how much freedom he's going to have, because it seems that clubs these days seem to be wanting to go, well, you're our manager, so we'd like you to do this, and we'd like you to do that. So how much freedom he's going to have, I'm not really sure.
The link between Chelsea and Brighton is it's an uncanny one. Just a constant
lots of players over the
conveyor
years.
belts of players and managers and all sorts of guys. I don't know what's going
there's
on
often clubs like that with links. So that looked like if it doesn't happen today, it'll probably happen this week. So he'll probably be the new Chelsea manager. Ashes, England 384, Australia 166 for 2 at the close of play. But Ellie wants to play birthdays.
I do want to play birthdays. Yes, let's play birthdays.
Right, we've got some famous birthdays
How do we
today.
play again?
Well, all you have to do is just look at them, and I'll tell you who they are, and you'll know who they are.
And guess their age. It's quite simple, really.
And Vinnie Jones.
Oh, Vinnie.
Wait, you see Vinnie Jones, they're on the ball, so it probably threw you that he wasn't kicking someone. So Vinnie Jones, how old would you say Vinnie Jones is today?
57.
57. Ellie?
Vinnie Jones is older than that, I'd say.
I'd say older than that as well.
I'm
and I know the
say,
answer.
don't Google.
Well, I'm not announcing it. I'm just double-checking.
Right,
I've made my answer. 57.
OK, but don't be checking.
No.
You'd have to wait for the answer from the invigilator, which is me.
Come on, then.
What do you say, Ellie?
You have to say it now because I've seen it. He's just Googled it.
Oh, you've 61.
Yeah.
OK, next.
We were getting on so well.
Just so you know, I would have said 65. Right.
How about Ewan Thomas? There's Ewan there on the left, former British 400-metre record holder and still involved in athletics majorly as well. How do you reckon Ewan Thomas is?
48.
48 is a good guess.
All right. 43.
No, 52.
Oh.
Do you want to go showbiz?
Yes.
Yep.
Bradley Cooper. How old is Bradley
Bradley
Cooper?
Cooper. He's older than you think.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think he's older
How
than
old do you think before you say how old do you think?
I'm going to say 51 today.
Is that older than, but you're going to add to that to make him older than you think, or you think that's what you think the answer is?
Should I be adding more to that?
Maybe not.
Maybe I should.
Before Ben Googles it and cheats again, what do you think it is?
53.
51 is the correct answer.
Oh, that was a
Very
really good guess.
And finally,
She Googled it.
in
No,
the
I
year
didn't, actually.
2000...
I follow the rules.
Well, look, that's come up there, and that's the answer of the blooming question. God, you'll love it when this happens. In 2000, who was voted the best player of the 20th century? There's a picture of Pele on there, so you know what the answer is. So there's no point even doing the quiz.
Is it his birthday, though?
No, well, Pele's no longer with us.
I know, but...
no longer.
No, it was this day in 2000 they had the greatest player of all time was announced. And it was Pele. Johan Cruyff and Franz Beckenbauer were the other two. No sign of Diego Maradona, which is a surprise.
That is
Whereas Glenn Hoddle should have been number one, in my eyes.
Thank you, Coity.
Thanks, Coity.
Ben,
Did I win?
safe journey home.
Oh, thank you. Nice to see you.
He didn't even notice the home.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm not. I am home.
OK, well done.
If you missed it earlier, Ben was about to say he's going home on Thursday, which would be DC.
Yeah. This is my home. This is my country.
Yeah.
I'll fight for this country till my last breath.
OK.
Right.
Still said home earlier, though.
This morning, just saying.
Still to come. Moving on very swiftly, we'll be going through the papers with Norman Baker and Dawn Neeson. There they are, looking splendid.
Oh, lovely.
Wow, New Year vigour.
Very
They'll be with
good.
us next.
Oh, yeah, and Norman's in his reform-coloured tie there. So we're going to be chatting to them in just a minute. But first, if you're in search of some holiday sun, and who can blame you because it's freezing outside, here's the forecast across Europe.
Dinner under the stars tonight?
That reminds me of our travel insurance.
You mean all clear skies?
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
Hello there. If you're after some warmer weather, Greece at the moment seeing temperatures above average. Still the risk of some showers across the Canary Islands at the moment and parts of Madeira. Perhaps southern Spain also seeing 1 or 2 showers, but generally some bright skies around. Heavier rain for parts of Italy on Tuesday. Could be thundery at times, and then the risk of some showers into Greece, but temperatures well above average for the time of year. And it remains so here for the next few days until eventually starting to cool down.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates,
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me. You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand. Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace to Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Martin Daubney, weekdays from 3 p.m.
I think it's just good, honest, humble food. And yeah, as people get away from the ultra-processed stuff and get back to their roots, and what's better than a good jacket potato?
Do you know what? Sales of jacket spuds have gone through the roof. The big potatoes at Waitrose. There's been a 178% increase in people looking at recipes. And I just think it's wholesome, it's affordable, it's comfortable, you know, it makes you feel good, it's back to basics. That, I think, at the moment, sums up the nation.
I think very much it being affordable as well, with the climate we're living in at the moment. it definitely helps knowing, you know, you're putting food on the table for a reasonable price, and people appreciate that. And it's good, honest food. You can feed your kids, and kids are seeing it on social media, and they're getting excited about it as well. So they're not like, you know, obviously everyone sees all the big brands, and now there's all these, you know, jacket potato people out there, and we're giving them something that's healthy, and they want to eat it. And I think the parents appreciate that.
And Ben, I've seen your videos. They queue around the block to get to you. If people are in the mood to cook a potato tonight, of course, we don't want to affect your sales. What is your sort of top of the pop spud recipe? Give it to us.
Oh, it's all about variety. It's picking the right potato is really important. Get a nice melody or a cara or culture or something like that. Nice and big. In the oven, if you can. Hour and 20. Get a nice crispy skin on there. Loads of butter, loads of cheese, and a nice curry on top or something. That's my go-to.
Ooh. Now, that was a final little curveball they threw at the last minute there, Ben.
GB News, the People's Channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
We're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News.
The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back to breakfast. We're going through the papers in the company of Dawn Neeson and Norman Baker. Morning, you two.
Morning.
Norman, let's have a look at something totally different, shall we? In the Daily Star today, a 153 grand phone call.
Yes, or phone bill over 12 days, and the top call cost £37,000. I don't know how you can run up £37,000 in a phone bill, but it was achieved by this woman called Karen Jeet Kaur, who's 27 years old, and declared herself horrified when the bill came through. But the good news for her is that Kerry's owner, it's a Kerry business phone, Kerry's owner O2 has waived the charges as a gesture of goodwill. Isn't that nice?
Gesture of goodwill that is.
Maybe they could do the same for us.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It is astonishing, though, and we never check. I mean, how often do you check if you are travelling, whether your phone includes roaming, what you can do, what you can't do? I mean, you really do need to check, because you can run up these ridiculous bills. I mean, sensible people have a cut-off, but some people just don't.
The other large bill I came across years ago, actually, was somebody who'd fallen out with her husband and went into their flat and rang up the speaking clock in America and left it running for about 2 weeks, and ended up with a gigantic bill.
Hold on, just making notes on that one.
What should we move on to next? What about something I mentioned a bit earlier this morning, Dawn? A train worker who served first-class passengers sausage rolls that they retrieved from a bin has had his tribunal appeal his case rejected.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the fact that, you know, sausage rolls from a bin, I mean, are they
so his excuse was, for context, his excuse was there was no sausage rolls left, there were some wrapped sausage rolls in a bin, and the first-class passengers were very keen for sausage rolls, so he retrieved them.
Yeah, well, it says here that another crew member smelled a rat, which is not a very particularly encouraging reaction is to have it when you smell a rat. You know, first-class passengers on this government-run service will not have been too pleased to get recycled sausage rolls.
How did they find out in the end?
Another member of the crew noticed the bin was empty and reported it.
The guy was sacked for gross misconduct in the end. Fair, unfair?
I think it probably... Well, he was trying to do his best in a way, but it was completely the wrong thing to do, obviously, to do that.
He'd have probably got complaints made. I'm assuming it's a he. Probably got complaints made if he hadn't have been able to serve first-class passengers food in as
yes.
well.
Oh,
Have you seen my sausage roll? Yes, it's next to my jam turnover.
Oh, dear. Dawn, let's have a look at this story in the Mail today. Older couples who are hiding their riches from each other.
Yes, evidently they are, although how anyone finds out if it's all hidden is another idea. 1 in 3 people over 65 keep assets from their other half. This is a survey. And 1 in 7 said the secret stash was worth more than £50,000 or more. Oh. Well, exactly. It's a survey by Co-op Legal Services and also found most men manage family finances. Well, hello. Girls, you're doing something seriously wrong if you're letting them do that. And 49% of women do the majority of the chores. Definitely doing something wrong there. But it is astonishing that evidently so many people older people keep their finances from one another. I mean, that's just completely alien to me. I mean, you know, what's yours is mine and vice versa.
And they find out when one of them dies, presumably, they find out how much they inherit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how much they are indebted.
Yeah,
or
how
indebted.
much in their debt,
How much of the house
probably.
they need to sell to pay for the debts.
I find that quite shocking, and I'm actually surprised at the number, 1 in 3.
Yeah.
If it's true, I mean, how did you find out, though? How do you actually find out?
1 in 3 married people over 65 have kept assets from their spouse, and 1 in 7 said the secret stash was worth 50k or more.
It's a long
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if my wife really knows. I mean, I just handle all the finances.
Do you?
Yeah.
Your wife's very trusting.
Have you got £50,000 stashed away somewhere?
We have a... Well, wouldn't she like to know? We have a we have a joint account where the money goes into and the bills come out, but she has access to that. But otherwise, I mean, she doesn't really...
See, the thing is, we don't have a joint account. We've never had a joint account.
Really?
No,
Really?
absolutely. Whoever who's earning the most at the given time in our lives together pays the mortgage out of that. But, I mean, it's all our money. I mean, we just share it.
What's mine is yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Norman, you saw one in the Mirror. What's this about badgers?
I want to talk about randy badgers.
Cool.
The randy badgers have halted a particular use of a road because the road collapsed because they were mating. I don't know, they must have been very active, wasn't they, to cause the road to collapse. The road collapsed when they were mating, and the council's now keeping it closed for months in order not to disturb the badgers, and it's causing a detour of up to 36 miles for local residents. And this road's going to be shut for months as a consequence. This is in Lincolnshire.
And this is because the animals are protected, I assume. So
Yes, and
move them along.
And they've not been, they've been badgering them to move them on, but they haven't been
very
successful.
Terrible.
Couldn't help yourself, could
We
you?
have Randy Sloths as well, if you're interested.
All right, yeah,
A
might
Randy
as well.
Sloth story. Yeah, this is a Hamerton Zoo Park in Huntingdon, Cambridgeshire. Mr Snuffles is one of the oldest sloths in the UK at the age of 35, and they've just had a baby. It was born at Christmas. Now, the reason this story is important is because Mr Snuffles at 35 is, well, 2.5 times the average age for a sloth. They normally pop their clogs at 15. So Mr Snuffles is the male equivalent, human male equivalent of being around about 165 years old, having a baby.
Yes.
No, you weren't impressed by this.
I'm surprised he's so active at his age, this sloth.
There were so many questions about this story, given that sloths don't do anything quickly, but I'm not allowed to go down that. It's not 9 o'clock yet in the morning.
OK, thank you both. Yeah, are you back in the next hour? I've forgotten how breakfast works.
No.
No, that's it.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
But it's been fun this morning.
You have breakfast.
Happy New
That's
Year's.
how it works.
Thank you.
It's been fun this morning. Thank you very much, Dawn.
Thank
you
you.
very much, Norman.
Thank you.
Back in just a tick. Let's get a weather update first with Greg Dewhurst.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow showers continue across northern Scotland and amber Met Office warning out for the snow here this morning. Elsewhere, yellow snow and ice warnings as we see further snow showers push south across the country. In between, there will be some sunny spells, but it will be a bitterly cold day for everyone. Temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Some places staying below freezing all day, so expect icy stretches wherever you are. Into the evening time, we'll see further snow showers pushing southwards, though the snow showers across Scotland should start to ease a little bit as we move through the rest of the evening into the early hours. But icy stretches forming quite widely, temperatures well below freezing by 5 o'clock. Further wintry showers across Northern Ireland, a little drier across northern parts of England, but a few wintry showers still possible. And again, across the rest of England and Wales, the risk of some sleet and snow showers and icy stretches as widely temperatures will be below freezing. And they will continue to fall as we head overnight into Tuesday morning. Clear skies for many, but the risk of a few wintry showers still possible. And then a band of rain, sleet and snow will move in across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland during the early hours. Met Office warnings remain in force for snow and ice, temperatures widely again below freezing. So a very cold and icy start to Tuesday morning. Outbreaks of sleet and snow across Northern Ireland and Scotland continuing through the day here. Further accumulations of snow, particularly over the higher ground. Elsewhere, generally drier, best of the sunshine across central southern parts of England. But another cold feeling day for most of us, with temperatures really struggling to rise much above freezing. Just signs of something towards the far southwest, of a little milder air trying to move in.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you to our global community for watching and listening to GB News. We're not only the #1 news channel in Britain, we're chosen by you around the world.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the A835, both directions are restricted between Ullapool and Torre due to adverse weather. On the M4 eastbound at junction 33, there is congestion on the exit slip near Capel Llanilturn. In Cumbria, the M6 northbound exit slip at junction 40 has a lane closed after a crash. In Dudley, the M5 northbound at junction 3 has 2 lanes closed with around 40-minute delays. In Surrey, the M25 clockwise exit slip at junction 6 is down to 1 lane due to a broken down vehicle. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast and cross-country services are disrupted, including Northern Scotland. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's a brand new year and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date.
£85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
And we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate.
An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world. Am I allowed to talk now? No, that's it. This is where it matters. Real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel. You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Good morning. President Trump doubles down on US control of Venezuela.
The US president says Delcy Rodriguez, Venezuela's interim leader, must comply with his wishes.
Don't ask me who's in charge because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Well, it comes as Nicolas Maduro is expected to appear in a Manhattan court later today.
Maduro and his wife, meanwhile, are currently in a New York detention center on drugs and weapons charges.
He's very sick, too. Run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
President Trump hints that other countries might meet the same fate as he hits out at drug trafficking from Colombia.
We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
And Trump also has his sights set on Greenland, claiming it's needed for defence from China and Russia.
Elsewhere, beginning today, mobile phones and SIM cards will be seized from migrants who cross the channel without needing to arrest them. It's as part of efforts to tackle the ongoing crisis.
An amber weather warning is in place across parts of the UK as blizzard conditions are forecast. Flights are cancelled and travel disruption is expected.
Hello there. Scenes like this for many of us this morning. Widespread hard frost, some snow and ice in places too. Find out all the weather details coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Ben Leo, and this is GB News Breakfast.
It's frosty out there and snow in many parts of the country as well.
It's a bit nippy.
It is. It's like a beautiful wintry landscape.
Let's take a look, shall we, at some of your pictures. Chris in how do you pronounce it? Devizes, sorry, in Wiltshire.
In Wiltshire.
Ignorant.
That looks
lovely.
A little dusting in Wiltshire. Very nice, very
Beautiful.
nice.
This has been sent in from Dominique in Brandeston, Norfolk.
Now that's just stunning.
That looks like a postcard.
Yeah, that is a postcard. Just stunning. All the trees are just beautiful, aren't they? Gorgeous. This is from Orkney. This is from Adam, who says, "This is the view today from my boat."
Oh, there's some sheep here.
Well, that's
this is
sheep.
the boat one.
Oh, here's the boat one. Yeah, that's the boat one.
Adam, I saw this picture in the inbox and I said to Ellie and the team here how lucky you are having a boat like that, being able to just live your life freely, liberated. No mortgage, I guess?
Well...
Minimal bills?
Minimal bills, yeah. Can we just have a look very quick at the sheep, please? Just one more look at the sheep.
It's from Neris in Orkney.
Yeah.
This is the sheep.
This is the Orkney sheep. This one I want
Sure,
to see.
keeping very snow.
Look at them. There's not a lot of light there either, is there?
No. Thank you for those pictures.
Lots of snow in Orkney. Thank you very much for all those pictures. Keep sending them in, gbviews@gbnews.com.
Right, Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Migration, Mike Tapp, joins us now. Mike, Mr Tapp, good morning to you. Thanks for your company. Happy New Year. First of all, can we talk, please, about this new, and actually it quite surprised me, this new announcement about the new sweeping powers to pretty much search illegal migrants for mobile phones and so on. Excuse me for thinking we didn't have this in place already. It baffles me that this is being blown up as some massive new sweeping thing when it's something so simple. Why didn't we have these powers in the first place to search migrants for phones?
It's fair that you feel like that. The fact is that's what we inherited, and over the last 18 months we've been making a lot of changes, and this was contained in the Borders Bill that we put to Parliament around 10 months ago. Today it comes into power. Now that means that anyone travelling into the UK on a smooth boat illegally means they can have their devices seized, their SIM cards seized, and that helps with the intelligence picture. Now, I've worked against criminal gangs in the past, but also in a counter-terror role, and this is bringing counter-terror powers forward to take on the smuggling gangs. It means that we'll have more information, more intelligence, so we can go after more of the vile smugglers to reduce those small boat crossings.
But these people who are crossing the channel, we've all seen the footage, haven't we, of them throwing their phones overboard, throwing their passports overboard. You can't retrieve phones and SIM cards from the bottom of the channel. So is this really the best that you've got? It's not a silver bullet, is it? Many people would be listening to you this morning saying this is tinkering around the edges yet again.
We're not claiming this is a silver bullet, and you're right that some might ditch their phones, but let's not let perfect get in the way of the good here. This means that we are enabled to seize phones, but it's not the only thing we're doing. We've seen sweeping changes to the immigration system, making it easier to remove and deport people, ensuring that it's less attractive to come here to reduce that asylum shopping, introducing and looking at safe and legal routes, but also these counter-terror powers, which ensures we have more powers to get to the smuggling gangs to reduce the small boat crossings. There's a lot going on, and there's also increased deportations. That's up over 20% to deportations and removals, I must clarify. That's over 50,000 now. We're also moving people out of hotels and into military-styled accommodation. There's a lot going on here. It's a big package, and I'm confident that over time it will have the impact that we hope it will.
Yeah, Mr Tapp, I would argue with those Labour deportations, I would argue, I've described it before as low-hanging fruits. It's the kind of Vietnamese nail bar workers who, OK, fine, they shouldn't be here illegally, they shouldn't be working illegally, but really, they're not causing much harm to anybody. I think the British public's major concern, Mr Tapp, is people from other parts of the world. So do you accept that you have more to do when it comes to deporting and removing people who the public are more concerned about, as opposed to just the Vietnamese, who really, as I said, apart from some nail bars and cannabis grows somewhere, aren't really doing that much harm in the grand scheme of things?
Well, that is criminality, and that is undercutting British workers. That's why we've seen our immigration enforcement visits and raids and arrests at the highest they've ever been in British history. So that serves the British people, but it also takes away one of those pull factors. But I'm not stood here telling you that this is all fixed. This is all just a part of the solution, and we'll keep working hard, doing whatever it takes to secure the borders and create an immigration system that functions. And we inherited a mess. We inherited a system that had completely ground to a halt and open borders.
Is this a system that's functioning well? So this is the twice-deported Albanian burglar called Dorian Pucker. You might be familiar with his case. He's currently taunting the Home Office. He's filmed himself partying in the VIP section of a Mayfair club and posted it online. He's been jailed and deported from this country twice already after committing a string of burglaries. He sneaked back into the country on each of those occasions. He's now returned for a third time and is attempting to claim asylum, and effectively the Home Office is powerless to take action against him until that case is heard. Why can't we deport this criminal from Britain who is currently making a laughingstock of our asylum system?
Well, we are deporting and removing record highs, and a part of what we saw before Christmas from the Home Secretary is ensuring that we streamline the legal system so that there's not those loopholes, so that people aren't at the last minute claiming that they're victims of modern slavery, for example. We're ensuring that that can't happen, but of course it takes time to get that into rule changes and legislation, and I won't comment on this individual case, but of course we'll look at that.
Mr Tapp, finally, the Prime Minister said that we will begin to see evidence of asylum hotels closing in the coming months. How soon is that? Can you give us a date, roughly?
Well, what I'll say at this point is that, of course, it's halved from the peak of 400 to just under 200 hotels. We've got lots of effort going in from the Home Office and the Ministry of Defence to move people out of hotels and into military-style bases. So hotels will be closing. I can give you that absolute certainty, and more's to come on that.
And where are they going, sorry, Mr Tapp? Where are these people going from hotels to where?
We're working at opening military bases and accommodation to move people into that. So it's still humane, but it's basic, and it's not as attractive as what's been seen as people sort of going into hotels.
Are they also going into asylum council houses and HMOs as well?
The main effort at the moment is to ensure that we're opening military-style bases so that we can move people out of hotels, and we will see that happening in the coming months, and we're working hard to deliver that.
So, just to clarify, can you confirm that is a government policy, it's a priority to put these people into military bases as opposed to, say, HMOs? Because the argument is, Mr Tapp, that these people are just being moved from hotels where they're free to roam the streets into residential communities where people, to be quite frank, they don't want them there either.
The main effort of this government and of the Home Office is to move people into military bases or military-style bases and out of hotels.
OK.
Mr Tapp, just before we let you go, very briefly, are you supportive of the military action by the US in Venezuela on Saturday?
Well, what I'll say on this is it's really important for the Venezuelan people that this dictator has been removed. You know, he arrested political dissidents, he tortured, he used sexual violence. Venezuela is safer without him. What we need now is a peaceful, safe transition and democratic transition for the Venezuelan people. And we're really clear that this country, the very foundations of this country, are international law and rules-based system, and that hasn't changed.
OK, Mike Tapp, Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Migration. Thanks very much. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for your company.
Well, let's speak now to our chief political correspondent, Catherine Forster, who was listening across to all of that. Catherine, what did you make of it?
Well, just quickly on Venezuela, the government being so careful not to say anything that might in any way criticise what Donald Trump has done. The government will be wanting to talk about the cost of living. They'll be out and about today talking about rail fares. But is anybody listening? Because, you know, we've just heard from Mike Tapp there about taking migrants' phones off when they arrive. I think I'm with you, Ben. I'd be quite surprised that that wasn't already happening. But the government is saying, look, this is a change that we are bringing in. We're doing lots of things to try to smash the gangs. But the numbers last year were up 13%. Now they're making all sorts of announcements. I've been at lots of them. But really, and unless the demand falls
for these people smugglers to get people across the channel, the people smugglers will continue with the supply. And at the moment, there doesn't seem to be much that's affecting the demand, because people still know if they get across here, they claim asylum, the chances are they get to stay. They may be put up in a hotel or a house of multiple occupation, or they may even end up in a council house.
What do you make of that pledge there from Mike Tapp about the government is prioritising military bases for these people as opposed to, say, HMOs? Because, I mean, I argue HMOs is the same as asylum hotels. You're just allowing these people to roam freely onto different communities where people don't want them.
Well, the previous government tried exactly the same thing, and the problem is that nobody wants these people living close to them. The key is to stop people making that crossing in the first place. I still suspect there is not a sufficient deterrent, but we hear Shabana Mahmood, the new Home Secretary, talking very tough. They're going to copy Denmark. Let's see if that will make a change.
OK, Catherine, thank you very much.
Lots of you in your saying that illegal migrants should be detained immediately and not allowed to roam the streets in the communities. I mean, I think arguably that's a pretty decent default position.
Military bases are not the silver bullet either. I mean, look at Crowborough right now. Look at the protests that are taking place there.
Yeah, if they're allowed, regardless of where they're housed, in a tent or in a five-star hotel, if they're still allowed to roam the streets freely
and in the community.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, not where they are exactly or how they're housed. It's the fact they're allowed to roam freely in the streets. Lots of you reflecting that on your say now.
Let us know what you think. gbnews.com/your say. Now, at 12 minutes past 9, just time to tell you about the Great British Giveaway now, and it is great. £85,000 to be won. Hayley Sparks has got all the details.
It's a brand new year, and we're giving you the chance to win our biggest cash prize to date. £85,000 in tax-free cash to make your new year the best yet. And we've come to the Aurora Collection Resort here in Lapland to celebrate. Imagine what the coming year could look like for you with a whopping £85,000 in the bank. You can have the complete Lapland experience all in one place by visiting the Northern Lights Village, or just safe in the knowledge that this year is on us. An incredible £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours.
For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Luck if you are entering the Great British Giveaway. Stick around on GB News. President Trump doubles down on US control of Venezuela, and the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, your dear leader, says that a leadership challenge is not in the national interest. I wonder, Ellie, who the likes of Nigel Farage, Kemi Badenoch, Zach Balansky, Ed Davey, who they'd prefer as Labour leader and the Prime Minister. Who would you take a punt at? Back in just a tick on Breakfast.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience, because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
Because
the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
We've been seeing beautiful pictures all morning, haven't we, of snow all over the country. I've just seen one of my friend's house in Suffolk. She must have 2 or 3 inches of snow. Beautiful, isn't it?
Lovely. Fantastic.
Sub-zero temperatures, web of snow and ice warnings causing disruption, though. Millions returning to work and school this morning, and there are amber alerts covering much of northern Scotland.
Yes, forecasters warning of heavy snowfall, dangerous travel conditions and rural communities potentially being cut off, while health officials are urging people to check on the elderly and vulnerable. Good advice.
Let's speak now to GB News reporter Anna Riley, who joins us now. Morning to you, Anna, and it looks like a winter wonderland out there.
Good morning, Ellie and Ben. Yes, and welcome to snowy Scarborough. It's been around -2 degrees here, according to the app on my phone. It feels like -7 degrees, and I can certainly attest to that. It is very cold, but it does look very picturesque. As pretty as it may be, though, it is causing a lot of travel disruption. It is the first day that many of us will be going back to work or going back to school, and this is causing disruption on the roads. With these snowy conditions, we can see there have been gritters going around here, but that doesn't clear all the snow when it keeps falling. We've got the amber alert in places around Scotland for snow and ice, and many swathes across England as well. We've got a yellow weather alert in place for snow and ice, and the snow is falling here. It's more impacted in rural areas, of course, and the RAC have said as well, check your car before you set off. Batteries are likely to fail if they've not been used during this time off, so check before you travel.
Good advice, Anna Riley. Thank you very much. Go inside now and warm up. Get a nice cup of tea or something.
Bailey's hot chocolate.
Yeah, very good idea.
Other brands available.
Now let's talk about the situation in Venezuela, shall we? Huge reaction coming in this morning. Also, President Trump potentially setting his sights on other countries, including Greenland. Many of the papers picking up on that this morning. We're joined now by our national reporter, Charlie Peters. Morning to you, Charlie.
Morning. Well, it's a remarkable start today when the head of a NATO ally in the Prime Minister of Denmark is having to issue a statement in reaction to comments made by the US President Donald Trump about his remarks on Greenland. Of course, one of the 3 nations in the Danish kingdom, as they refer to it. And she has said that Donald Trump needs to stop the threats. I think we can bring up a copy of that statement now. She goes on to say that it makes absolutely no sense to talk about the US needing to take over Greenland. The US has no right to annex any of the 3 countries in the Danish kingdom. She also said, I would therefore strongly urge the US to stop the threats against a historically close ally and against another country and another people who have very clearly said that they are not for sale. This comes after Katie Miller, who's the wife of one of Trump's aides, Stephen Miller, one of the most outspoken aides in the administration. She tweeted, or posted on X rather, a map of Greenland in the colours of the American flag with the caption, soon, in full caps. Obviously, the Trump White House rather emboldened at the moment, having essentially acquired a new colony in Venezuela. Lots of questions now on what the US might do next. There has been a flurry of military activity over the last couple of nights, much of it coming into the United Kingdom. We've seen around 10 or 12 C-17s, very heavy lift cargo planes landing in RAF's Fairford and Mildenhall in Gloucestershire and Suffolk, respectively. Early yesterday morning, we also saw 2 AC-130J gunships landing in the UK. Now, those are very offensive weapons. They're used for one thing only, really. So to have those arriving, lots of questions about where they may go next. Could it be Iran or could it be a fleeing tanker in the Atlantic?
Interesting. Charlie, thank you very much. Charlie Peters, GB News national reporter. There's a treat in store for GB News viewers from morning onwards because Andrew Pearce is here with none other than Bev Turner, reunited.
A drum roll.
Miss Beverly Turner, you're reunited.
Oh, he was so pleased to see me.
She looks so thrilled.
Do you know what? We were going to
She
surprise him this morning, but his journalistic nose did a better job than that, and he basically went, how come Ben Leo's there on breakfast? Does that mean Bev's in the building?
I did. I worked it out.
Nothing gets past you, Andrew.
But great to have this American insight on the programme this morning because what an extraordinary start to the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Within 5 days, he's asserted himself as the dominant world figure on the stage. You never know where he's going to go next. Is it Denmark? Is it Colombia?
Well,
Didn't really surprise us, did it?
Well, no, people banging on about international law and whatever. I mean, the US is international law. That's right. They are the law. So what are you going to do about it?
And because I think what hasn't been such a big story has been the build-up to this, where it's been
Right.
huge in America, was the bombing of the narco-terrorist boat.
Alleged narco-terrorist boats, I could say. There's a big dispute on that, potentially Britain not providing intelligence to the United States on those strikes. Some of them double-tap strikes, bombing survivors in the water. Very controversial strikes, which I think could breach international law.
Right. Big show coming up. Bev and I are back on the Late Show Live this week. Else, for now, Britt and Susan, thanks for this morning. Bye-bye.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office. Another bitterly cold start to the day. Widespread frost and ice across the country. Some difficult travelling conditions through the day as further snow is expected. Heavy snow